We get how uncertain the future is. We've come of age in a complex world, face to face with problems we didn't create. So what's gonna happen next? We are. Because our future is the future. The life we have chosen has prepared us for this. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disasters and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more because we have an appointment with destiny. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Everybody, welcome to day 2 of the Rally Cry Collegiate Series presented by the Army National Guard. My name is Seymour, and today I am joined with Marky. Get the bag, Mark. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing very well, Seymour, and I'm so excited to be back on some Collegiate Counter-Strike. And you know what? To come back to a collegiate tournament like this for Rally Cry, and then immediately going forward here in the bracket with such a banger match, Seymour, up here casting with you, I couldn't be happier.
And you're hinting even towards the fire that we got today when it comes down to matches. But before we talk about that, we got to talk a little bit about what these teams are playing for. I'm very excited, just as you are, and there's a lot of money on the line for this series, or not just for the series. I'd say for this tournament is a total prizing breakdown of $30,000 for the Rally Cry Collegiate Series. It's a lot of money. A lot of money, Marky. And it's across multiple titles, so it's not just Counter-Strike 2. We got the HBCU FGC series with Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive, and Tekken 7. It's $5,000, $3,000, and $3,000, respectively split between those 3 games. Then for Counter-Strike 2, we're playing for $8,000. That's a good chunk of change. In Rocket League, we bumped it down to $6,000. Madden College Championships is going to be $5,000. So we got a lot on the line right now between a lot of different titles.
Definitely. I mean, I was really excited when I saw that Madden College Championship in there. You know, watching those games, it can get so intense. And Rocket League, unironically, you know, it brings you back to some of the early days of esports. It really just makes you so happy. And with the fighting series as well, getting it all in. And then beautiful, probably, you know, the best team Counter-Strike esport that we have for $8,000 that we're going to be seeing, Seymour. It should be quite the tournament that is going to be going on.
Yeah, I fun fact, I got to cast Madden the other day for the very first time on LAN, and I had to watch my Eagles lose 3 times in a row.
Oh, no.
It's okay. Nobody picked Green Bay, Marky. Nobody picked Green Bay.
Oh, thank goodness.
We're out of Madden. We got to talk about Counter-Strike. We got a banger matchup for our first game. Well, round 2 of the bracket. It's going to be Rochester Institute of Technology, the Tigers taking on the Northwood Timberwolves. Our first look at the Tigers this tournament, but it's a team that the Timberwolves should be wary of because both of these teams in the past have been collegiate champions, but RIT, they seem to be sitting at the top at the moment.
Definitely. I mean, probably more of your more recent champion just taking that NACE Varsity Premier Championship just in the fall last year. I don't think Northwood was quite in that competition. RIT did check out there. So maybe a little bit of momentum on your side. You're right. But taking those maps over Drexel yesterday, I think they're going to be red hot.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see Northwood play again. We had our doubts yesterday with them, and we were kind of talking about, is this going to be the Northwood that we expect? Do our expectations kind of exceed the data that we have for this team when it comes down to collegiate? And by all means, it did not. We saw them take on Drexel, another team that in the past were collegiate champions, and they beat them 2-0. So that's going to bring us into our second set of matchups for today for the CS2 Collegiate Championship. This is our winner's bracket. We got Fisher going up against SC State, the Wolfpack, who we saw play Brock University yesterday. Then we saw Matthew McConaughey fan club going up against the George Mason University Patriots.
Can I join that fan club? I think we all belong there.
I think everybody is a fan of Matthew McConaughey, and if you're not, you're lying to yourself. But we also got Rochester Institute of Technology versus Northwood. It's the matchup that we're going to be looking at. And then Oklahoma Christian University versus the Ohio State University Buckeye Gaming Collective Scarlet team. And a lot of good matchups. But I have to say, when you're looking at it, this Northwood versus Rochester game, Marky, in my opinion, these are two teams that can go on to win the whole thing. This is a very important matchup.
Definitely. I mean, down here at the bottom of the bracket as well, likely to try and go up against Oklahoma Christian, right? I'm really loving that matchup against the Scarlet of Ohio State down there. So we'll see how that pans out. At the lower of the bracket, though, you're absolutely right. A preview of the finals at that, and Northwood in these three maps, I'm sure it will go all the way. And I'm not even really confident picking either team. It's going to be a slugfest the whole way. You know, you can go through each roster and just highlight each individual player, but it's all going to come down to who shows up in the server this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, just looking through the highlights here from Northwood, it's going to be a troublesome one for the Tigers. Just talking about a couple of these players. Tix, Nice, Soul Goat, Escape, Ellis. I think Tix, out of all of these, stand out the most out of the performances that we saw yesterday. The consistency between Mirage into Ancient, really commanding the server, really leading Northwood to a lot of these round wins. But in total, and I think Vincent and I really touched on it yesterday, you can't really pick one of these 5 members of Northwood and really say that they are kind of apart from the rest. They are all so star-studded.
Definitely. I mean, we went through it before the game. Northwood, you know, they're practically storied. I mean, these guys, you know, going through their playing history, it's just insane. And when you see names like this joining together in Collegiate, you know you're just going to see something special walking away from every game. You even see just Tix popping off yesterday. I heard how big of a monster game that he had. I mean, you see it in the replays right now. Ancient will just be his domination, right? You see it going. And I mean, you really can just get down the rest of the roster. But I mean, you're absolutely right with Vincent. It's just going to be every day whose turn it's going to be to pop off.
And that kind of brings us into Rochester, the Tigers and their lineup, because we haven't yet seen them here in the Rally Cry Collegiate Series, but they have been Collegiate champions in the past. I mean, this is definitely a team of individuals who can step up to Northwood, but I feel like you're looking at them to really plan this out, really come into it with a strategy. They cannot, you know, walk in without a game plan still, because, I mean, this is just a Northwood team that, you know, if you kind of fight fire with fire, you're going to be doused.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said it better than that. I mean, it's really just going to be all the way through just these two teams neck and neck with each other. You see these bans finally come up. We can talk about them a little bit. Just that pick of Overpass, it's going to be very, very nice for RIT. And then that Mirage pick by Northwood, excuse me. I mean, you're just coming out straight for what they were warming up yesterday, and it's really going to be quite the matchup when you have it.
Yeah, yesterday it was Northwood versus Drexel, 13-3 on Mirage. We saw the op just kind of run around everywhere. Tix and Soul Goat locking down mid control. Ellis making sure that nobody could step onto B without A without losing a member. So Mirage is definitely going to be a tough one for RT to walk into. But again, Mirage is a map that everybody relatively knows how to play. So I'm not sure RT are going to be too opposed to going to that map. But Overpass, map number 2, this is what I'm excited for. We got to see it in our second series versus the Wolfpack and the Badgers, and that went all the way to a 13-11 scoreline. The Wolfpack were able to win it out, but RT want to go to that map, and I think I'm really liking this pick out of them.
Definitely, and it was one that you saw highlighted in their fall efforts in 2023 that led to a championship, right? They rode Overpass a lot out to where it was even banned in some series, weren't able to get it up, but coming through in the veto here, it's going to look really good, especially pandering with the Mirage pick that's going to come through. And you're absolutely right, everybody's going to be able to play this, but I think that's what gets me excited about it, right? You get into Mirage between these two teams, you know, all these players with the advanced experience across the board, whether you're pugging it in the FPLC lobbies, right, in Mythic Diamond, whether you're getting those reps in, now you got to prove it on the big stage here in an official.
And if need be, all the way to a map 3, it's going to be Nuke, a map that I rarely ever get to cast anymore.
I love Nuke.
I'm hoping it goes the distance here.
Nuke
I'm expecting it to go the distance. You live in Nuke?
I wish, man. Actually,
that is... I feel like that's a very where do you sleep at this point? I mean, it doesn't seem like it'd be
for me
very
personally on top of Hut. It's the most comfortable up there. But
very cozy.
It's looking very cozy at the back of these apartments as well for Northwood. Looking to concoct something here. Try and get back on B, but hey man.
It was a round reset.
Round reset. Nothing going on.
Run it back. It didn't happen. Look away. You didn't see anything. This is round 1. It wasn't that round before. You got bamboozled. We got bamboozled, and that's okay. Mirage map number 1, though, with Rochester starting off on the CT side. You saw early setup over towards B. They're going to still lead with that, leaving only one player at A. It's Unis. And this is the right call to make because the Timberwolves, they're looking to kind of play on site, play through apps.
K2 hopping up board, and now he will hear the steps right through. Tix, he's going to be hopping right out, caught in the air, and K2, he is waiting, just allowing Ellis to get on the bomb site and get comfortable, because now he waits and fires on escape, at least gets that planner, and K2 has got to. Soul Goat leaving him in a 1 versus 3, and they tap him right out. Rochester striking early with their first pistol.
You couldn't ask for better trigger discipline than that from K2. It got a little bit scary at one point. I thought after the whiff to the player bench, maybe somebody from Northwood is going to flick around and get that trade, but he's able to secure those 2 kills. Benji from Catwalk able to find 2 jumping out of apartments, and Northwood just jump into the blender. That's a fantastic read from RIT in round 1 of Mirage to start off with a pistol round. Now they can see if they can grow this lead to 2. With the conversion, MP9 from Proto looking to walk right up mid, look to find some extra cash in the pocket with some help. Snaps around to Ellis, and with K2 watching over him, Northwood just cutting down to pieces.
And now that peek from the bottom of Connector, it's all good. And Nice is at the top of middle, just with the Deagle, and they are just running it down. MP9's up and at that range. Uni just taking it all right there. And Proto, all of the efforts come through for the second round. 1 man down, it's all good. But Northwood, now they're finally up and going to get this 5 AK buy. So we're going to see what they're really going to be bringing here on Mirage right now.
Only 3 kills there with the MP9 from Rochester Institute. The Tigers, I mean, it's good cash, but would have loved to get all 5. So into this bonus round, they're going to buy up an M4, stick with the FAMAS, and keep Proto on an MP9 of his own. So to combat this rifle round, they have quite a stacked buy for themselves. So definitely can't count them out. MJB going to slip through the smoke to tuck away inside mid windows. You have connector control. You have a player in Catwalk, and the crossfire should be good to find a couple kills. Proto strikes first.
Just again. Now this timing through window as MJB strikes down with a lot of damage and the first kill converted. That's Soul Go. That will definitely... Wishing that trade could have came through, but right now, he's just got to rely on what's alive, and what's alive is Tix. We know the domination he caused in his first series against Drexel yesterday. Now Nice up and above. K2 strikes again for the double.
5-1 from K2 in the start of this game. RIT ready to take the bonus round 3 of Mirage. And Northwood just cannot get the ball rolling so far. You almost had some fantastic timing through Connector. You had a player get towards the stairs. You had a player in Sandwich as well. You're just trapped. RIT finding those opening kills. Proto removing the player outside of apartments really leaves Northwood with really nowhere to go. And then MJB, who plays his cards right, peaks, you know, right place, right time. 2 players looking away from window. Northwood just cannot be making mistakes like that. You have to make sure that you're clearing these angles. You have to make sure that you're not giving anything up for free to RIT. Because now, looking to go down the barrel of a 3-0. Tix now gonna look to get that bomb planted, but Benji swings out from Catwalk, and that's gonna be the third round secured.
Third round secured indeed, and a cookie cutter start here for Rochester as they've gotten everything that they've wanted, and Northwood has been tabbed out, but right here just comes from where you least expect it, just in those timings. It fades at window, and K2 as well, been so consistent. That's what you're going to need to see for Rochester, right? Maybe coming in with a little bit of a question mark when Northwood firing up yesterday as well as they did. Now they're going to be responding to those with a 3-0 lead early.
K2. Oh, lots of action through Palace, and it looks like Northwood would just want to jump out as quick as possible. Proto's going to soften them up for K2 to remove the player from top stairs. Soulcoat going to try to get a bomb plant, but won't be able to make it happen. Clean round from RIT.
And I gotta say right now, Proto is probably the most underrated player in this game. I know we're only through 4, but I think in every round he's had some sort of impact, right? He was one of those players up through middle in that second round with the MP9s, and now just working it out. Proto doing so well, some precise shots from jungle, picking up their 4th.
a round that Northwood need to pick up before things starting to get a little bit troublesome in the server. And another default play for mid control with a little bit of aggression in and around apartments, but we've seen them walk this line before. We've seen them fall in the same line, and this time they don't have to worry about mid control, but instead RIT going for the stack on A and heavy aggression in and towards Palace.
Uni down below, ever so patient. I do like this setup over towards A, but right now they're going to have to be aware of the slow crawl that's going to be from the split, and Uni is going to have to be set up for it, and he is. Proto, like we were just highlighting, has delivered all too well on A. And now these shots forward, and now the setup activates. They find the first part of it, and mollied out. They're just going to have to smoke this sandwich position. Tix taking even more space. This man is just on a heater, getting his second entry.
Talked about Tix yesterday. Such a
unreal
main state for Northwood, and into this round finally activates, and 4 kills at a Tix to finally put one on the board from the Timberwolves. You need plays like that from Tix to ignite this flame that Northwood have been missing in the first 4 rounds. And just look at the way he's swinging these fights, playing on contact for 3 out of the 4 of those kills and winning the duels. Northwood should be feeling good after that round, and still not a steady buy for RIT. They've been battling through this, but Proto brings the op out and through mid. Nice, first of all.
Double dipping maybe, just trying to get in, and a swing and a miss. Very good try, but K2 is just going to try and fan this pressure just with the nades. He knows Tix and Soulgoat are out, but there is Escape trying to make his presence known at ramp. This is a name we haven't said all too much in the first 5, but here in number 6, making his presence felt early just on A. K2, he's got to try and lock in just everything around him at Palace, because Tix, he's trying to just bring the malice here through Con.
JB brings Northwood down to 3, and Benji brings him down to 2. Such a strong start out of Proto with the op. Silences the aggression out of Northwood, and it really makes it hard for them to decide where they want to go. So Soulgoat, Escape, what do they have to offer here in a 2 versus 5? MJB is going to swing information now onto Soulgoat, and the dink is going to bring him down to 15 HP. Escape, last real chance for Northwood to maybe pull this round back, but MGB trades it out, and K2 hunts down Soulgoat. 5 rounds, they bounce back.
And I think it's about time that I bring up that this is Northwood's map pick. I mean, this is no secret, right? The conversation immediately with Mirage is it's sort of never your map pick, but especially going into an RIT squad like this, they are bringing it to you early in the beginning of this game, and you're going to need more than just Tix to activate here early. We got to see Soulgoat activate, Escape over here at A, got to get going. Nice as well. This is a team of stars, and we've got to see him shine.
The map pick of Northwood. RIT, they say, hey, we love Mirage just as much as you do. And their CT side almost looks unbreakable. Benji again for a first blood. The way of the Tigers. And K2's gets a second one. Tix falls at B. Looking to now open up this smoke, and Escape on the other side falls. K2 putting them all in the dirt. Finally going down to Ellis, but the damage has been done. 2 versus 4.
Ellis damage fanned away, and that's going to be Benji from Cat. They're going to try and fight into this, even though you've really just got to stand toe and wait for the rotations to come in. Really, if you're going to look at the University of Northwood's coin, they have the positioning a little bit towards jungle, and Soulgoat, if he can stand strong through default, has the angle for it to land the first. Saw the shadow of Uni, and now trying to land the sprays, isolating the fights. Ellis has got the kill. MJB goes down, and there is Northwood activating into the round just like that.
The second pillar of Northwood stands up. Soulgoat, 3 kills to put that round away. Now an AWP for Northwood, a second round on the board, and a round that you definitely should not have won. But it starts with this. Ellis takes the player from stairs, and Soulgoat puts that plant in the dirt. And from here on out, I mean, just look at the way Soulgoat plays around this pillar. The 2 kills from CT alone, helping that space for Ellis to stay quiet until needed. rounds like that, you know, RIT, just as much as Northwood want it, RIT just cannot lose those. That could have been a 6-1 lead, but now we're looking at 5-2.
Ooh. Might be looking at the check for 5-3 as well as just this 4v2 up. MJB waiting ever so patiently, and honestly, they didn't clear this last time, and that's a molly in deep to Van. MJB peeking off the back of it, and Ellis just good for that entry. A double for him in the round. Escape with 2 as well, and now Northwood get their third.
Yesterday, I mean, we looked at the Northwood Timberwolves on Ancients, and they started down 5-1. They came back to win it 13-6. We could be looking at that same story here on Mirage. A slow start, but now they're starting to look more alive than ever. And just an eco round from RIT could bring this down to a 1-round differential. They are going to be snapped into connector, and Northwood are going to play through Palace, so these USPs may have a chance to fight it.
Now swinging in, they will go. It's Uni putting up these flashes, but just these kills out in a fury, and Tix pulls out the sidearm. It's a little bit faster than reloading. Northwood, they pull it within 1, and I gotta just say that really when you're having this nerves, you just come back from the 5-1. Sometimes it's not that big of a deal, right? You know the experience that Escape, that Tix, that Soul Goat, all of these players have playing with each other, right? They've came back from worse, right, in these advanced divisions, right? And really you just see that same experience come out against what's going to be your most formidable opponent here in the collegiate circuit.
Now RIT, if they want to maybe stay in the lead here, round 10 must go their way. And Benji's going to open it up with a double kill on A. Or a double kill through mid, I'm pretty sure that was.
Response either way from Tix. He's up in their face, and now Uni around the corner, just trying to fight for his life. But Benji is low, and Tix will say goodnight. Only a couple more bullets. He could have had the headshot. That's what's great about the AK. And now that molly to fan him back. 1:10 and right into the 2v2.
Yeah. Low HP on Tix, 22 health. Bomb is quickly looking to work to the side of Tix, but Tix cannot lose his life here. You're going to be putting Ellis in a round that you just might not be able to win, but Tix somehow walks away with the kill, and it's a 1v2 now for MJB.
Now knocking back in. This is the captain of the squad, MJB. No kit on his back, but at least has a flash and a smoke to work with. His Tix just crouches down and below and catches Ellis on the timing. Does not deliver. And now MJB, he's going to have to spend days looking for these players, but what strategy does he go for?
Drops the smoke, tries to fight it, and Tix puts it away. 22 HP, but still finds 3 kills to win the round. Tix is an animal. A true Timberwolf.
I mean, this guy is just ridiculous, and following up upon his performance yesterday, he has not skipped a beat. Now Northwood, they pull it right back to this tie game. Round number 11 is where we see it, and just these 5 AKs upright. We saw that op up for a bit of a moment on Solgo. You see him pull it out sometimes on one of Goon 7 and 5 in advance right now, and now these shots just down the barrel in connector. A little bit of space trying to be gained, and K2 is trying to deliver on the spam, but now something else being delivered up Cat.
Really seems like Northwood are in full control now of Mirage. You can see why they wanted to play this map. Because once the ball gets rolling, it does not stop. The eco round is snuffed out flawlessly by Northwood University. And that gives them the lead for the first time on map 1 of this series.
Pulling ahead like this, I mean, they've practically recovered their entire half. Proto is a name we saw getting going here, and this is a guy that's sort of a Swiss Army knife on the CT side, right? Rochester are only going to be within 1, but this is going to feel a hell of a lot worse, right? You're going to be now here within round 12, and you have got to get this tie game just for the mental, just to keep yourself in this contest, because this is going to be a long one this afternoon, and you can't try and get heated right here at the start.
Writing down one member. 3 health as well. K2 is going to have to do his best, but it just doesn't seem like RIT can no longer hold the control that they did in the past, and bomb's going to easily be planted. Escape on the
K2.
aggression
Oh,
in
Lord.
jungle, too. K2 gets locked down.
2K2 indeed, always delivering here, and just on these angles will just be unfortunately taken out. And now SoulGoat in the post plant will try and go large, because now MJB, he's going to try and be in charge, landing at least his first spray, but just too tall of a task. Northwood roaring back with 6 in a row, 7 in total. My word, Seymour.
And RT kind of whimpering away after those last couple of rounds. You look at the spree that Northwood went in the history there. What was 5 rounds looking fantastic from RIT, almost unstoppable at the beginning of Mirage. Northwood, you're right, they truly roared their way back into this one. And in that last round too, it got a little bit shaky. MJB almost able to find that 3rd kill of the round onto Escape, but not able to make it happen. And Northwood now leading into the second half. 7-5 RIT on the T side. It'd be really good for them to find yet another pistol here on Mirage and try to cut this lead back down. And Northwood starting to work a flank actually through underpass.
Oh, they found the bomb in the back lines. That's going to be a problem, but the rush is still on. Ellis and SoulGoat, they clean things up, and Uni's going to have to do the same, but this is going to be nice and easy for Northwood, just collecting all of their dollars. Ticks with the 2K right at the end. I actually believe he had 3 in the round. Oh, Lord.
And now we see an RIT timeout. I was kind of expecting to see one in the first half after the string of rounds that Northwood put together, but kind of facing death's door of a 9-5 heading into their T side of Mirage. You love to see them slow things down, kind of talk about what ideas they want to put together to maybe stop this early momentum that Northwood has in the second half and put a round on their board, but they didn't get the plants off in that pistol rounds. They're not going to have money to really buy up for anything. I expect an eco going into this round for RIT, and right now this plan is to kind of just level themselves out, hit the reset button going into the rifles coming up very soon, and try their hands at this again.
Northwood even going up for SoulGoat on the Nova. You know what type of cash these guys are going to try and farm, but that Molly is going to be so perfect. They cannot hide, and right now they are just not going to be left behind. 5 just in the blink of an eye.
Tix is farming now on Northwood. Not a bad round, though, from RIT. You know, you go into this round with a timeout.
Right.
You start to set your plans for the rifles, and you go headstrong into whatever battle you're going to face. And whether it ends fast or it gets prolonged, it does not matter. So now this is the round that they're planning for. We can see what they're putting together with the rifles. They're going to go again for some mid-control here, sending 1 through apps and 1 lurking just outside of Ramps Uni, and Escape actually spots out the shadow. And he's going to know there's a player around the corner with the MP9, gets across, and with Ellis, they actually find the kill. That's an AK.
That's a little bit of something that's going to be carried over, but now right here, Nice can get it back, and MJB unfortunately can fall. We'll see if the smoke is going to be put up. Yep, that's going to be that wall just to hold it as K2 and getting that spam back. So at least getting a little bit lucky.
Yeah, lucky for sure. 2 versus 4, though, not as lucky. You might be thinking, I mean, RIT found the bonus round back in their CT side, and Northwood really on the steps of repeating that. AK for Escape now here at A can really do some damage. Just going to tuck away in ladder. SoulGoat with a Nova in the cross.
Peeking out, but you believe this Nova's got the range?
Oh!
It does! Unreal, SoulGoat. That one is going to be very, very nice, and it will bring up the spirits as well. SoulGoat, I swear this has been like the quickest 10 rounds in my life. You know, I feel like Rochester really, worked up these 5 in a row. Maybe it took a little longer, but does somebody have a timer out? Somebody keep track, man. I don't know what the refs clocks are saying now, because right now Northwood have not only just ripped off 10, but in unreasonable time.
It's been about 20 minutes in the server so far.
Right.
I mean, you blink and you miss it for some of these rounds. Truly, Northwood are farming. And you can look to players like Soulcode and Tix to make it happen. Now Escape finds 4 lined up through Underpass. Yes, it's pistols, but it's pretty. It looks good. And that brings him to 17-8 on the map. I mean, the Timberwolves truly look unreal on Mirage. And anybody who's looking to face them inside of this Rally Cry Collegiate Series tournament, ban Mirage. Get it out of the mix.
Ban something. I don't know what you got to do to adjust to this Northwood team. This is not any collegiate program. This is RIT. National champs they are. And they are looking like they are just being outclassed in the server in every way. Here in these last 12, it has been all Northwood, almost Nate in the face, and Proto's got to back up.
I think they're Tigers, but they look just like Cubs right now. The flick from Proto just barely whiffs. The trade from MJB is there, finds the refrag on the Tix, but now it's nice to reclaim that aggression. Cuts down MJB and Uni, and Northwood on map point for Mirage, 12-5. Dropping a couple more rounds than they did to Drexel yesterday. It was a 13-3, but they're looking for a similar dominant outcome.
You know, and after this series, you know, we'll see how RIT decide to try and move on with their heads held high to Overpass because, hey, you know, this is Northwood's map pick. Maybe they had this thing figured out beforehand, but I don't even know what to say. They look so unstoppable, it is not even funny. Like, they are literally in these fights just back to back. They don't even know what to do. Like, just right here, they are disrespecting them flat through the smoke. It's a 1v1, and that's exactly how they win the game. Northwood, with absolutely no mercy, just strangle RIT all the way down.
Hey, is this the perfect way to put it? No mercy. They're not losing their fights. They're not scared of taking these fights. And ever since those 5 rounds that Rochester's got in the first 6 rounds of the game, they found nothing after it. Northwood go flawless through the second half. They go flawless through the second half of the first half, and they dominate their map choice of Mirage 13-5 versus Rochester Institute of Technology. And I don't really know what to say analytical about that one. They were just dominating their fights and really forcing Rochester out of their comfort zone.
I mean, I'm just baffled, Seymour. Same as you. Like, I mean, they were bullying RIT out of the server right there. And like I said, this is no pushover team. These are the national champions. And I don't think I've ever seen them, unfortunately, get embarrassed like this. You know, it really was at times just up and above. The multi-kills for Northwood, it looks straight up like a DM server.
It's not even like, you know, Northwood are playing the rounds, you know, strategically. It's not even like they're waiting till, you know, 30 seconds to hit and execute, setting up their lineups, dropping their smokes, throwing their Molotovs, clearing corners. They're just rushing onto site with their guns at the ready and destroying these gunfights. And once they get that bomb planted, even when they were on the D side, you saw immediately they just pushed the agenda, set up the line of scrimmage at the spawn of RIT, or at the kind of edge of the sites for their post plants, and they denied entry back into wherever they were looking to lock down.
Yeah, I mean, this Northwood team is just absolutely connecting at the right time. The cohesion is there, but RIT, right? This is 3/5 of a 9-2 advanced team, right? They are playing this season well. I don't know if you're just waking up on Sunday morning and unfortunately you don't got it in this series, but that's why we're in a best of 3, Seymour. They're going to be able to respond to this because, you know, we love the guys over at Northwood, but they're going to know it as well. I mean, I talk to Soul Goat sometimes after these Wanted Goons victories that he has in his ESEA efforts. And sometimes when they beat up on a team like this, I know how confident they can be. But MJB, similarly, on the other side of RIT, I don't know what you tell your squad. I'm really feeling for them right now because really, I don't think the scoreline does this justice. This was ridiculous.
You say Sunday morning, it's 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. on the East Coast. both
10
these
a.m.
teams
matches.
should be bright-eyed, bushy-tailed for this one. 11 and 14 out of K2 had a fantastic start to the game, but as soon as RIT got those 5 rounds, it just seemed like Northwood, they sat forward. They're like, all right, let's get into this and let's not lose these fights. Tix went 21 and 9, 19 and 9 out of Escape, and we were talking about Solgo so much this game. He only went 9 and 7.
Yeah.
Those 9 kills had to be the most impactful 9 kills that we've seen from a team.
I don't even know what to say, man. I mean, I feel like I'm being a little crass on RIT's agenda, but even some of the stats don't sell it. I mean,
It's just
K2,
surprising.
you know, we saw the multi-frags coming from him consistently, right? But just one after the other from Northwood. Seymour, I don't even know if you can really get gassed up like that. There's a short break between these games, right, for these squads. Breath of fresh air or something.
Yeah.
Reset. They've been in larger stages like this. RIT just won a national championship on LAN. They have the poise. They can always get back into these series.
Yeah, it's time to just step back from your setups, shake it off, and get ready for Overpass. Coming up next, the map pick of RIT. We can see if they can bounce back and send us to Nuke for a map 3 here in the Rally Cry Collegiate Series. We'll head to a break. We'll be back with some more Counter-Strike 2. We'll see you in a bit.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Our generation isn't turning away from the world's problems. Watch us fly ahead, rise to every challenge, and overcome anything. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Riley Cry Collegiate Series presented by the Army National Guard. My name is Seymour. With me is Marky, and we just saw a bullying in our first map of our series number 1 for today. Northwood step up to Rochester Institute of Technology, and they take them down on Mirage in a very swift 13-5. Marky, I wasn't expecting it. You weren't expecting it, and we went to the break, and we were both just saying to each other, I cannot believe what we just watched. If Northwood are going to play like that throughout this series or throughout this tournament, I don't think anybody can take them down.
Yeah, just give them the trophy right now. If this is to be a 2-0 in this type of fashion, like, I don't know if they're just feeling something today. Something's just so right for them. We don't get us wrong or anything. When these players are firing on all cylinders, it can absolutely be a game like that. But how often does that actually happen? I mean, legitimately, they really just locked in probably better than they have in an official at any point, right? Northwood, I've seen them a handful of times, but I don't know if I've seen quite a dominant showing out of the rest of the half like that. Northwood now has a very large bar for them to hit.
Yeah, and RIT, hopefully they kind of stood up and shook that one off, because I'm sure they felt a little rattled after what seemed like a very strong map from them. So heading into the T side of Overpass, let's see if they can start with a pistol round like they did back on Mirage. It's going to be a stack in towards Connector and looking to go up the steps through to A. And if they could get the better of Nice quickly and get onto site, this could be a bomb plant right away.
Now just up, rounding the corner in divider. It's just a timing game, and he passes at least that first question. Can he answer 4 more? Does with the running. Nice. What is this? Can he do it with the 4th? The damage done for it. And Northwood, my lord, roaring back into this Overpass game, have not missed a beat.
Nice didn't miss a bullet. 3 shots, 3 kills. Not easy to hit shots like that, but let's look at this one again. The sidestep, exits, turns around, dips back in. See you later, Uni. Proto, we'll see you next round. Wow. Individually, some of the best shots I've ever seen with the USP. And Nice just riding that high from map 1.
And, I mean, he's one of the best with, but now here is Ellis knocking at the door and getting those sprays right through. Got to respond off the flash, and they will just hammer you down. Northwood, they are just bringing it right to your front door, and they're even just having a little bit of fun along the way.
This is a very important round for RIT. You need to see the best out of them right here. You need to see that they are not down for the count just yet. I'm sure that was a really frustrating map number 1. And even that first round, like, what do you do when Nice is hitting shots like that? But now with the AKs at the ready, a little bit of utility, this is where you need to see them bounce back. And it seems like they're going to go full steam ahead into a little bit of a default.
And you got to see him try and change the tempo. I mean, similarly on Mirage, it felt like it was just a blur. The rounds went so quick. Those first 2 rounds, Seymour, get done in like 2.5 minutes. We're going so quick. As now Nice responds with the headshot. That's going to be good. This is going to allow for Scape to really just get in on this timing. You're going to see a boost up there at the playground, and we'll see if he just collects this or keeps on moving.
This is the epitome of what confidence looks like from Escape. There's no worry that there's going to be anybody else down there. Walks right up to the ladder and now can maybe posture for a possible flank, but just going to stay put for the time being. Solgo flashes back out. Ready for the Molotov in case anybody want to push us through Monster. And RIT is so scared to make a play right now.
You know, Seymour, at least they've gotten to the minute mark. They are a squad that's at least evened up in the 4v4, and now a Molly placed in your face, denying you for at least those next 7 seconds. You can get in with the nades as well. It's going to be an obvious B play, and both of these squads are there. Jumped over from the teammate, and now like fish in a barrel. Solgo delivers on that first, but now a bit of damage back from RIT. 2v2.
Escape. Ellis. Crossfire here. Smoke is going to allow Escape to walk a little bit aggressive here, but Proto going to remove Ellis from pit. Escape now dancing around the pillar. 1v2 for Proto, but he can't get past the first. Oh, it was a 1v1 for Escape, and he feels that he could do nothing wrong right now.
It's just absolutely insane how well you posture from map 1 to map 2 with literally not missing a beat. I don't know what is in the Northwood camp right now, but they are literally just farming. RIT, they seem to be stunned here and through 3. This is exactly what I'm seeing in front of my eyes.
So how do they bounce back into this game? Needs to be answered. Tix is going to rush out through water. And the pipes is 3 Tigers just waiting in line. They're going to have an M4 now. Given over to Benji. One of 2 members still at full HP. And he has light armor, so might be able to at least step up to some of these fights confidently. But 4v4, Ellis... Chance now to remove another one. That's the rifle down. Gonna swing out. Uni not gonna fall. K2 will rescue him. And now 2 M4s, but Uni on 21 health.
Nice, walking back in, misses the timing there. And I think Escape even acknowledges that he sees that player with that little flick that he does. Just his reaction. K2, you can't escape today. Northwood make you pay at every turn. You're gonna pay the toll today.
I mean, the toll is mentally taxing right now, feeling for Rochester at the moment. And just looking at the way that Northwood plays, it's not traditional Counter-Strike. It's not, you know, normally what you see in a competitive server. It is just swings and contact plays and just the perfect crosshair placement that you can ask for some of these players. They are truly on top of their game.
And that's what we were talking about. I mean, so rarely are all of their players shooting as hard as this, but even in these like score lines that you see, right, Solgat on that first map, we were commenting how it was really only like a 9-7 score line, but every time that we said his name, it was a multi-kill. It was a huge impactful frag, right, for his squad. And now Northwood, they have really just tried to play the game, and Escape getting that kill, just ripping the op out of the hands of Proto. That's going to be so telling of how this series has gone.
The op fight was the way of our Northwood this time. Still won't stop RET from walking up bathrooms, but Nice is here, and just like round 1, looking to repeat those steps. He's going to fall to Uni, but you can look to Ellis to maybe patch this mistake. Escape's going to be watching over with the op. The Molotov's going to back him down, so really just down to Ellis to hold off these players, and Uni has no idea that's bombed down.
Smoke on Divider as well, and ready and locked out of the sight. Or RIT out of long as well, and just at Divider, Ellis will just drop you, and another Northwood win where they only lose 1 player.
It's just hard to fight against this, and RIT, they need to change some kind of, I think, the pacing, the idea of these strategies. They're playing these default plays, these slow plays, trying to crawl their way onto sites and, you know, scrape their way past some of these players. But with the aggression from Northwood, I'd just like to see Rochester set up and execute onto a site, just explode onto a site together and try to overwhelm these players, not show them the respect that RET are giving them.
A nade through and damage onto MJB. Proto on the other side. Ellis is up in your face right now, right towards this fountain position, but Escape, he holds the back door, always with the AWP, and strikes down, absolutely smacking K2 out. You better get that checked out, my friend.
Just gassing up Northwood at this point, the way that they're playing.
Yeah.
Ellis gets through Fountain, takes the fight playground, and gets back out, and now is sitting inside bathrooms. It's a huge pickup from Benji, though. First blood onto Escape, gets rid of the op, and now rotates down in towards Connector to see if they can maybe set up an execute onto B. But got to get through Soul Coat, and fortunately enough, Soul Coat a little distracted for the player on the railing. It allows Uni to totally pop off.
Just getting right into the site, making sure they clear all of their corners. Now, a chance for RIT as the shot's right through, and now leaving Nice in a 1v3. He should concede this one, get out with the AWP. Northwood concede their first, get up for RIT. That's going to be very nice.
I feel like finally I can breathe. I can only feel like what
certainly.
that feeling is like for these RIT players. A round on the board. They break through B. Uni with those 2 kills in through sandbags really opens up this opportunity for a round win, and it all starts with Benji getting the better of Escape as well. You need to now see RIT expand on this, ride off this success, and see if they can put a couple on the board. A little possible taste of Northwood's own medicine from back on map number 1. They give Northwood 5. Now let's see if Rochester can put 7 on the board.
No, certainly. And I mean, really, I mean, getting up in this 5-0 is not that huge of a settlement to get up, right? We even saw Northwood, that flick is insane. Northwood get up to a start like that in the previous, right? And you get it started. They just took it right back. Excuse me, RIT, they came back from RIT's lead. So you can still get into this, but it feels like so much more than that. They get up in their first round, and now this is a good way to start. Now respond with some confidence and try and make it 2.
Oh, Solgo's got the AUG. The Call of Duty gun is out.
You would know a little bit about that, Seymour?
Yeah. Don't see that every day, but Tix, look at the patience. The door wide open, the smoke is thrown, and that's the call for Tix to swing out and catch somebody with a little bit of utility in their hand.
I don't feel like Northwood, isn't it? Normally you see the AUG come up in the scenario in CS2 now where you're really putting it in the hands of your opper. But you think that they could really just get one into Solgo's hands if they wanted to, but long range like this at B, this is exactly what the AUG is going to be made for, locking down those long range engagements. The player's still alive and in water, but it is just a matter of time.
I mean, it's quite like the SG back on Nuke back in the day. You know, it's just those long distance fights. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just
I think Valve just reminding us that, like, you know, they can just have a little bit of fun. You know, if they really wanted to, they could ruin the meta for a year and a half, and they would just.
Texas walks right through their spawn marquee, and he's just listening to the rotation. He's like, "All right, guys, don't worry. They're going to be. Trust me, my sources are right."
And now trying to even get the triple, at least locking in for MJB. The fight goes down. MJB gets the crown. And K2 now popping out with another multi, leaving Ellis with the next man up to bat.
This round is going to be so telling. 1v2 for Ellis, hiding on the other side of the smoke, but it's K2. 4 kills in an instance. A second on the board from RIT. A write-off round from Northwood. Finding the 2 kills early on. So early. And with 40 seconds left, K2 starts the comeback, starts the grind. And at 25 seconds, the B take happens. I mean,
you really even see almost that triple line up, right? But just not enough gas in the tank. The timing does not go all the way there, and that's how RIT take control of it. And out Northwood, Seymour, besides the pistol round, have we ever seen them in a position like this?
Other than, you know, back on those first couple rounds of Mirage when they got broken. No, I mean, it's been what feels like an instant, but it was really just 40 minutes ago that we really saw them broken back onto an eco. And they will have an AK recovered through connector, and they have worked their way back up the stairs, but the bomb's on B. And the round is done.
RIT, you can see a bit of a rhythm forming, right? This is going to feel so good, at least, to get these rounds up on the board, right? Northwood were winning so bad at the beginning of this game, right? Rochester, if they lose this one, they go to a lower bracket. They are going to go scorched earth there. Feel bad for the teams that they match up against, because this national championship team has higher standards than this. And right now on Overpass, they are proving that they can still fend, still in this series. We're not looking all the way there just yet. Did Nice just die to the explosion or the actual nade hitting them? That looked like it was really close.
But, you know, you're going to love this. Yesterday, Vincent and I saw an impact Molotov kill. Not the burn, an impact Molly kill.
That's
awful lineup.
Yeah, that's something you don't see every day. I think I recently just casted that for the first time like a month ago, and I have the clip saved because I don't know when it's gonna happen again. It was just a random flashbang you see pull out, and it is just so comical every time.
Well, 3 rounds in a row for RIT. Starting to work their way back on, but again, rifles now out for Northwood, and the job gets more difficult for RIT. No hog for Soul Code. It's just going to be AKs and M4s going head-to-head, and Uni starts off with a double.
That will rain a lot of confidence back. You have not seen an opening like that from RIT in this series. Now just ripping 2 kills here at the beginning of this round. Nice takes a little bit of space towards this short area, and now he's going to have to flick up for this monster situation when he hears it happening.
Nice is getting timing. Nice is getting so much information right now, but he's giving up monster. So now a flank from Nice to hopefully blow this whole thing up. And if Escape can play through Heaven off of this contact that Nice is going to get, potentially the retake. But Proto's going to have to check this one, and as soon as he does, now they know.
Nade around the corner and K2 to receive it. Now we'll just back up that flash to just make this mark a little bit easier. A headshot in on K2. Nice is just going to be bringing the line a little bit closer. And now a perfectly placed smoke on the short.
Looking at Uni sitting in pit to disrupt this retake. But Uni's going to go down, and that's all down to MJB as long as with Benji. But they're off the back of the smoke. No kit for Northwood, so Rochester, they will get the round win. But at what cost, Marquis? Nice just absolutely put them in the blender.
In the blender indeed, and MJB, the good captain, will always go down with the ship, and he does. Just a great opening from Uni right here. My goodness, I mean, I guess that was all that needed to be done.
Almost a repeat round of what K2 did just 2 rounds ago. But RIT have now put together 4, and you have to be thinking that this is a chance for maybe a repeat from what we saw at Northwood do back on Mirage. Now going to take their fights over towards Fountain, look for a little bit of control A long, try to work through bathrooms like we've seen back at the early portions of this overpass T side. But throughout every single time that we've seen RIT try their hand at this, except for when Benji got the better of Escape, this has been a round loss for RIT, and it's been because of Nice.
Always at the hands of the rifle, and you remember how hard he was striking up there in bathrooms earlier. Now Proto below. He's got really rid of the op in this game, but now around the corner, it is Nice. Just talking about him, already causing havoc, and now repeaked. Ellison from Wong could catch Uni and does. This is bad.
Just not properly clearing this site. Smoke goes down for Ellis, so a little bit of room to work their way back in. Grouping up with Tix, and the crossfire's in. Down to 1. MJB gives away his positioning, and Tix is just playing with him. MJB through the smoke, looking the wrong way. And it's Tix to put it away for the last as well. Northwood have finally found their footing after giving up 4 rounds in a row, and they're going to keep their lead to 2. They've secured themselves at least an even half.
Yeah, and I feel like RIT fighting back, they've definitely got their footing in this game and in the series back, right? Most importantly. But right now, that's a bad one to try and lose. That's going to be a momentum killer. And now off the Tech 9s, you really can try and get something going. But we'll see if they can't just run through the fire and the flames.
See how much force they have with these pistols. Ellis lines them up, finds 2. A third one as well. The AK just cutting them down. Nice raid from Escape to expect the push through connector. And Benji with an AK in hand. Full HP, but no armor. A flash, a Tech 9. Maybe looking to do a little bit of damage to them. A couple of consolation kills here, and possibly a 1v5 on the cards for this player. But first, he has to get through Escape. Without the armor, that fight is very difficult to take.
Yes, it is. Northwood even hammering down for that 7th. And this is really the half that they've set themselves up for, right? RIT get in towards the middle of this thing, but the foundation that they have laid has allowed them to, now when bouncing back, can really just get their stranglehold over this half again and can even just get this 8-4. That's what I would consider a stranglehold over the half. That's a good lead, but not as well as they had on Mirage. But like I said at the beginning of this game, it was a high bar to start off with.
told Vincent this the other day, Marky. 6-6, it's winnable. 7-5, it's doable. 8-4 is manageable, and then 9-3 is just a curse at that point. So this is a point where if RIT can come away with this round win, it is definitely in the realm of possibilities, but still not the position you want to be in, especially considering what the 7-5 half looked like in the second side of Mirage.
Right now, that 8-4 is being leaned up upon, and this is a series we really wanted to see all three, really just specifically because of the teams, right? We meme about Nuke being the third map, and we love to see it, but unironically, between these two teams, it would really be a great contest. But right now, RIT, just in the beginning of these games, have not stood up, and at least on their map pick, they're able to get some life, but a 7-5 would speak volumes here, and it's almost necessary, but it really is difficult.
3v5 starts with this information now onto Escape. They know he's playing alongside the sign, but he's going to get the better of MJB, and it makes this even harder for RAT now, down to 2 members. The reinforcements have already looked to stack this site, and can Une draw them down from the depths of this grave to hopefully win out this last round? It's all down to Proto now, 1v3. And everybody's all here. SoulGoat's going to win it out. Tix finds the kill. And Northwood 8-4 on Overpass, heading into the T side.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, you really almost getting up on the spam on Ellis there, right? You can bring back what is a crazy 1v4 attempt, not enough time. But unfortunately, right, you're going to be seeing SoulGoat with a bit of a quieter game, but I mean, it's a completely different tale when you're on the same score, but you're on the same side of RIT, right? Unfortunately, MJB not having the desired game.
It doesn't seem like SoulGoat really has to pop off at this point. 9-7 back on Mirage, and they win 13-5.
Maybe he needs to get that AUG back out, man.
AB found a kill with it, so, it wasn't the worst gun for him to have, but MJB starts off the second half with a frag onto Nice, and now RIT can look to see if they can put a pistol round under their belt.
Long range snipers as USPs. And now trying to get down with the spams. The bomb just to be planted. That's SoulGoat that gets in. MJB with that shot gets his third. And now just trying to get right in. Actually, about to collect the 3K if he keeps on this effort, but actually trade it out. And there is SoulGoat back in the engagement, but right back into the site.
Oh, no.
SoulGoat's got to respond from short. And a hit on the back of Uni, but he goes around the pillar. He will go. And that bomb halfway ticked.
I just don't know. Uni's gonna have to make some noise. Taps it out in SoulGoat. Ice cold in the clutch. 6 kills into the second half, but the 6th could be the most important. A pistol round from underneath RIT. What should have been a round win for the CT side of things gets a little bit mixy as soon as the smokes go down, and that is heart-wrenching if you're an RIT fan.
Man, it's a little bit crazy, right? We highlight MJB and SoulGoat right as these players that maybe need to step up, and I guess they hurt us because they absolutely did. But SoulGoat just that bit much more. Got that 4K over to secure that pistol round and get that 9th, and really, I mean, now they got a stranglehold over the second half in that timeout right here. I think I'm a bit confused. I think they just took back-to-back timeouts at first. At first, when they took this, I was like, is it a tech timeout? No, it's a Rochester Institute of Technology regular timeout.
Yeah. And, again, funny enough for MJB and SoulGoat, both members doubling their kills in that pistol round.
Oh, lovely.
So, MJB goes from 2 to 4, SoulGoat 3 to 6. Just a funny little tidbit about both of them. Just for MJB, you just wish you went one step further in this moment. And what could have been, 8-5. RIT just need to dig deep, and they need to figure out what kind of magic they can put into the server to find a comeback.
Gotta get something. Break out the wand. Maybe I don't know. What do magicians use? Maybe some cards.
Spells?
This is yours. Yeah,
what would be
something like
a
that.
spell? Would the spell be written out like, DE_spell?
I would think so. I would definitely think so. And some DE_CT luck is what they would need, right? Just in that spell for it. So hopefully we are manifesting something, but hopefully it's not the end of RIT. Hopefully we're not cursing them like witches.
But we do have that power, so better
Yes,
watch
yes.
out. Better be nice to us casters. The bomb's going down at B, and this A stack long has seen nothing, heard nothing, and will most likely do nothing.
Right here, nice on the angle, at least popping off a couple of shots now. These pistols fan back, and they're going to find out exactly where they want to put their little stack for the moment. This bomb going to be halfway tick. There's a straggler as well by Bathrooms, the man that is too cool for school, away from the squad, and a bit of a dink in, so good try from K2.
Try and try again. It is just not amounting to really anything for RIT. Soul Ghost's not going to let go of this AK. 7 HP, lives to see the next round with it still in his hands, and double digits have been acquired by Northwood. The Timberwolves go up 10-4 now on their T side of Overpass. Very calmly, I would say. It's the second half so far since that pistol round.
Moving ever so graciously, right on their plan. They stay up with it, just getting the 3 Galils, and now RIT now got to get
Proto
right up with the aggression. They're right around this corner, but now got to dance around the fountain, and around the fountain he will go. Not for his third, but Proto with the double.
doesn't expect Solko to round out that
What?
trio. Kobe from Tix. That brings
Did
us
he
into a
spam
3
him out
versus
earlier?
3. The Molotov's going to push K2 in the open. Ellis capitalizing, but Uni evens it back up 2 versus 2. But Tix has to be one of the hardest kills in this server. And Uni will have to go
What a
big once
win.
more. Like we've seen back in the first half, Uni can step up when RIT needs him the most. And he's going to deliver a 5th round, cutting down this lead to about half of Rochester's points.
Absolutely, and a great aggressive play that they cook up, and that's going to be exactly what the doctor ordered out towards Fountain, and really almost you see perfection out here from Uni, just absolutely dragging on the angles and getting those kills through. But I want to go back to that nade that you saw. I mean, I think K2 softened him up, and then Kobe'd up for that kill.
Either that or is a double HE. Whatever it was brilliant.
Or, excuse me, I believe it was Tix.
Tix at least found the finisher for that one, but now with an AK in his hand,
Unreal.
ridiculous shot. I mean, he just swings it and wins.
It's just an unbelievably tight angle. I mean, hitting those kind of shots online are a little impossible, and right now, everything just seems to be that much in the land of Northwood, because right now they are just defining their own stories. And with this, I guess they can write their own rules.
I don't want to be like the one to make comparisons. It's a very simple-esque play that we're seeing from, Tix in that moment. And what makes the
Tix
GOAT so good at this game is
Goat.
just the fact that he can make plays like that, and his enemy just can't do anything to stop it. The reaction is unreal.
Confidence is definitely underlining, but so is Pro 2, and he's got to get rewinding right to the back of this truck, putting the shots down. He does finish off the first, but escape up close and personal. He just
MJB.
cleans you up, and an MJB 1v3, and almost getting off on escape right there. The shots do connect, and fanning a little bit of HP back, just down to 21, but that's going to be 11 collected for Northwood, and a bit of a better timing there for MJB. Might have had a better crack at it, but all we can say is what if.
What if? I mean, you can say that for so many rounds, not only on Overpass, but on Mirage as well, Marky. And realistically, if you scrub through this VOD, you're watching through it, there are so many winnable rounds for RIT. And I think that's what makes this so painful to watch for a fan of this school. A scout in the hand of Proto will leg escape down to 61 HP, but you have to look at what they're by here. A FAMAS, 2 MP9s, a Deagle for K2, and a Scout in Proto's hands. It's not a lot to work with. They're
Benji-
already out of utility as well.
He's awkwardly on this engagement, and the tower will fall. Tix is back, and he is just destroying them. Now K2, he's going to try and go huge here with the pistols. But my goodness, you're absolutely right. Tix can just get in at any point. MJB spamming the wall with a little bit of frustration, and now got to get right into the situation with the 2v2. Still able to get back in, but a lot of space being taken by Northwood.
This is winnable. AK for Proto, M4 for MJB, but Ellis
that's
is looking to
better
press
timing.
the issue, and Proto will not falter. Now in a 1v2, Nice is going to jump up over the smoke. MJB repositions, takes to the heavens, and keeps RIT in this.
Keeping him in it. Indeed, Proto gets that defuse across, and Rochester finds 6, right? I mean, we can talk about how this game has gone, right? When Northwood is really showing up, and you remember that first game, that was one of the most dominant performances I think I've seen from any team in Mirage in a very long time, right? You see a lot of NA ECL teams in specific, like Boss, they really can turn to Mirage in a time when it's really their darkest moment and really just have exactly what they need, because, you know, Mirage is just a comfort pick for us all. But I mean, I don't even feel that way for RIT. You know, it was really bad on that Mirage map, and unfortunately, you can just get back into the game. But Northwood, honestly, they've just been a bit nicer about it on Overpass, right? Stacking these rounds on top of each other, they haven't felt as dominant, but the scoreline certainly is.
Yeah. Now for RIT, bundling up over towards B, 2 members to try to stop this push. K2 is going to re-up on the smoke inside Monster. Only an MP9 in his hand, and really going to have to rely on Uni to once again pop off for this one. The Tech-9's working their way in through bathrooms. Uni's going to fall down. It's all really up to K2 with his MP9, only able to find the one. Tix trades him immediately.
You even have Nice on this Glock right now. I think he just picked up a Deagle, and yeah, he's down below in the red, but now he's going to be your hero, and let's see if he can go right here in this clutch. Can he swing off of the players that are just being mollied out? There's just a slight man advantage for Northwood, but it's being fanned back.
That's an MP9 and Soul Gotan, and Tix still finds value in Pit. MJB is going to locate one. Nice hiding with the Deagle. Lands the shot onto MJB. And a eco round for Northwood. A forced buy for some, but enough to make it seem like it still should have been an RIT round. 12-6. The Timberwolves bring us to match point on Overpass. And they're 1 away from 2-0ing one of the best schools in Counter-Strike.
Just such a CS program defining performance right here up in the Collegiate circuit. These guys are definitely good enough to really come to test against anybody in these divisions in this tournament that we have over the next week. Northwood, let's see if they can keep it going, get this 13th and make it clean.
You look at, schools like Northwood, schools like Rochester, or schools like Drexel even, you put it into that mix, and, how much success they have along their accolades in the past and how much they ping pong kind of back and forth with that success. Northwood stepping up in 2024 early on and saying it's our time to shine.
They're shining with their bright flashes up and behind them at long. The stars to guide them. Now, Uni, other side, MP9, that thing can get churning and will just burn in right into Tix. And that's a very large head found. But right now, you're just going to be running it right into the belly of the beast, right up long, right into MJB's camp. Strike through the first. Now can try and do the dance, but just put out.
2 would have put them into such a good spot. But Nice finds the head of Benji through that smoke. Finds the second with the Deagle as well. Absolutely fragging out. 1v3 for K2. Only a Deagle with head armor. And gonna slowly work his way up the stairs. Nice, low on health. 11 HP on the other side. Will be located. 2 AKs to fight against. An AK of his own. But look at the reposition coming out through Bank. And that won't even come to be. Ellis watching the push onto site. Puts it away. 2-0 for Northwood over RIT. 13-5 on Mirage. 13-6 on Overpass. I mean, look at the Northwood Timberwolves go, Marky.
Look at them go indeed. 2-0 in a really incredible fashion. I mean, I'm not even like kidding when I'm saying this. Why would I be? That was the most dominant 2-0 that I've probably seen in the Collegiate series against an opponent like this in a matchup like we just had. I'm not even joking when you say it's defining for their program. I mean, when you have a moment like that over a school in a Mirage dominating performance, that's going to make them feel good. And congratulations to Northwood, because they probably worked so hard for it.
I mean, no lie at all, Marky. We've seen our, 13-0s. We've seen, dominant games before, but we've never seen a game like that against a school like that with a team like Northwood, where how good these players can be, and how good when you put them onto a team, it can possibly be for the program, but for them to actually perform at this level.
Remember this one?
And execute at this level.
So crazy.
It is ridiculous. Nice. In round 1 in overpass, 3 shots in the USP, 3 kills. And from then on, I had a feeling that Northwood were just going to walk away with this, just looking at the way that they play.
Yeah, even in the response of that round right there, those first 2 come up in like a minute and a half. But really, I mean, the scoreline was just as dominant. They're a little bit closer, like I said, right? Northwood now just having a run. Even times, RIT coming through with large plays like that when the halves flip, and then Northwood, they really have to get creative. It really just sets up everybody to have a little bit of fun. But Tix, I mean, my goodness, dude. Like, I don't even know what type of tournament rating he's going to be having at the end of this thing if he keeps on moving like this, because Northwood, this is a matchup you look to see in a grand final. That's why we hype it up like we do. And just delivering on that front like this, if it was the stage that we had, I think everybody would be talking about this. But right now, you can take the victories where you get them right here in the bracket, and you move on, and maybe you'll see him again. Maybe not, but either way, you're on your road to make some good money along the way.
I think, for Northwood, that performance that they just put on in this series, it kind of cements the idea that this is a team that we expect to see in the grand finals here for the Rally Cry Collegiate series. Just looking back at the scoreline versus RIT, 13-5 on Mirage. We expected that, it's Northwood's map pick. Yes, Mirage is, a map that a lot of people know how to play. It's a very comfort map for a lot of individuals, but when Northwood choose to go to Mirage, even after seeing how they played yesterday versus Drexel, only holding the Dragons to 13-3, we know it's going to be a strong map for them. So it's no surprise to see them come out and win their map choice here. But you go to Overpass, the map choice of RIT, a map that you said really defines the legacy of this team when it comes to them as champions. And you beat them 13-6. That is a statement from the Timberwolves.
It's just insane. And I will note, I'm a little sad we didn't get to see Nuke, but maybe in the next series, but I mean, you'll get it when you can, because I mean, you just got to play what's in front of you. And I mean, honestly, a good change up from the regular Ancient Anubis that we see a lot of the times here in 2024. It's a world we live in. But I mean, right here, Mirage is just, I don't think any words that I can say can really justify anything else. But if you guys didn't see that game, look at the VOD, because it legitimately, like, I was baffled.
It's on the edge of my seat at times.
Like, I don't know. Look, Overpass, that's a bad scoreline. It's okay, but I don't think Mirage does it justice. You look back through this, and I know that MJB and the guys, they are going to be fired up after this one, because if I'm right, their tournament life is still on the line, right? They can go to the lower bracket and still make this thing through. But my goodness, I like I said, I would feel bad for any team they're going to play against down there, because boy, are they going to be a little bit troubled after that.
Yeah, so heading down to the lower bracket, RIT going to have to look to change things up to mount a comeback here in the Rally Cry Collegiate Series, but Northwood move forward to round 3 of our winners bracket. They go further and further in what is possibly a big payday for this school, and we are going to head to a quick little break as we jump down to the lower bracket to check out our next set of matches coming up after this break. We'll see you soon.
Our generation has a choice. Turn away from the world's problems or chase them down. We refuse to sit back and watch them pass us by. Watch us fly ahead. Rise to every challenge and overcome anything. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables. But last week, I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full time.
While I work full time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Rally Cry Collegiate Series presented by the Army National Guard. My name is Seymour. With me is Marky. We just got done with our first series, and oh boy, I mean, where do we start, Marky? Talking about Northwood versus RIT, a 2-0 series from Northwood that I'm sure you and we just did not expect.
Yeah, look, we look to see a slugfest in that one. At least, like, you know, the scenario I was coming up with in my head was going to be like a close 2-0, probably either way, probably leaning towards Northwood as it was. You know, they had a really good victory yesterday against Drexel, and I think carrying on with that momentum, you could have saw them have a very good game. But not like this. Not like this. They look dangerous, and they certainly woke up today and were, and I think they expected to be here for a little bit longer because they're going to have an early afternoon. I mean, those were some quick games in a 2-0.
It's already like, what, 4:26 p.m., and they're all done with their first series. So that's going to bring us into our second series of the day. Northeastern University Red, Akai, Ace of Losers, Tony Shang, Super Xiao, and Jackal going up against Bevo's Fan Club, Zell, Cheese Pants, Spicy, I'm Mad, MTNP. A big head-to-head here between Northeastern and the University of Texas at Austin.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, some great squads getting up here and ready to get this next match underway, right? Bevo's Fan Club coming out of U of T down there in Austin. Love to see him down there. It's real warm in Texas. Got out for the first time there this year. And you know what? It's a good time down there, Seymour. And I guarantee it's going to be just as spicy as Mr. Spicy really leads it to be. I mean, you can really get these games turning here. We're going into the lower bracket. So now you're fighting with your tournament life on the line when it matters the most.
Yeah, so not really sure where this is going to head to when it comes down to the maps of this series, but I'm sure it'll pop up right down below us. Usually I look into it, but I thought I'd leave it up to surprise. And we're going to Vertigo map 1, Inferno map 2, and a Mirage Decider. Usually things are kind of flipped around. You'd imagine that we're reading it right to left, but we're reading left to right, Marky.
Certainly so, and we're going to be hopping right into Vertigo as soon as they're ready. A little bit of bunny hops, and I don't think this is the actual pistol round because this is an interesting way to start it off. A false start at the line and a 5-yard penalty that they will get. Restarting the game as we get into this one, Seymour, but Vertigo up first. This is going to be a lot of fun for me, and then Inferno up second. Man, is there a conversation to be had about that map, right? Unfortunately, with the addition of this new CS2 remake, it looks great visually, but sometimes I think for some players it can feel a little bit narrow, and it is shockingly falled to the bottom of the map pool, played behind a lot of maps like Overpass has taken its place. You're even seeing more Vertigo, obviously the constant Ancient and Anubis that you get in a lot of these series. Mirage, we just saw it, and now you're getting back into it, but I think played than less than like 10% of the time at Cato just a couple weeks ago, as opposed to really, I think it was something around 30% of the time towards the end to go. So a huge change. And, you know, it's honestly a sight for sore eyes. Sometimes it's really great to see, but you can definitely see some of the flaws in this map for sure.
Tell you one thing, Marky, my eyes are definitely not sore at all. This is always been at the bottom of my map pool, so it's sure. It's not my favorite, but I definitely see where you're going here for Inferno. It's one of those maps, that it's just been a classic in Counter-Strike, and it's just fallen behind some of the new frontier of CS2 and what it has brought. And Vertigo being one of those maps, like you say, we get it from map number 1 of this series. We can dive a little bit deeper into this now. A little bit of a change too for some players. They either love this map or they hate this map. So to see it come in for a map 1 pick really, really surprises me. I think Vertigo is one of those maps where you either see it banned right away or it's going to make it through as a decider. And to see a map pick coming out for this one, and actually I'm pretty sure this is Northeastern map pick. I can double check that real shortly.
Yes.
But no matter what, it just surprises me that this is going to come out. It's a actually UT Austin map pick of Vertigo.
Yeah, I think you really nailed it on the head very well, right? With the scenario of it coming up in a decider or just flat out banned. But there is like a little 5% in there of teams that legitimately pick into this because, right, we were just kind of talking about the transition of these maps. it is a clear cut, just copy and paste from Go with prettier graphics, right? You're going to be seeing it into this. And there was always a recipe on this, on that previous game. And these teams that love it, they really can play it well. It's not the most complicated map in the world, Seymour. And I think that's what gives them a hold on it.
And I think with CS2, the change into, you know, jump smokes is just, I've made it a little easier even for this map for teams who maybe just could not lock it down back on Go. But it's going to be really telling, I'd say, earlier on what we're going to get out of it. And for Bevo's, starting off on the T side, we get to see them really try their hands at A now, hiding behind sandbags. Tony Shang just waiting for a chance to make this one surprise, but he's already lost his teammate. And Tony, he's got to make a move eventually. Finally going to be checked, and Spicy doesn't let him have a time of day.
Just gone right out there, Spicy cleaning it up. And right now they're being pushed to the fray. Cheese, he's right down and below. And Akaro's right up above. He may just smell him around the corner before he sees him, because right now, at least there's a kit. There's a smoke around the corner, and there's a late push for NU Red, as now Cheese in the back lines will get his kill. But now this smoke down. We'll see if they hop on it. They do. Now finding a way for that first. They are still on this, and now getting it through in Bevo's fan club. They do get the spams eventually.
T-side prevails for round number 1. Back on our first series of the day, it was a non-stop CT pistol dominance until I think we had that clutch that came out into the second half for Northwood, the 1vX scenario that we did see. So Bevo's fan club going to carry on from that clutch and sail their way into around victory here on Vertigo. You're looking for a big counter strat out of Northeastern, expecting a push through ramps. They're all going to boost up and wait for the aggression, but through a default from Bevo's fan club, not really hot out the gates, looking for information, and they should be able to react to this and head over to B.
Get right over where they need to go, and they just get up with a couple of those upgrades, so you got to rotate the stack and really fight with 5, but we'll see if they peer through middle first, and they do, just with 4. 2 has remained towards the back of the site, and Zell, it will just put down the cover fire for this bomb to come in. IMAD gets those 2 kills, just popping off with the Galil, makes it the 3rd, and Tony Shang has met his maker as well. On for the ace, can go for it on the eco, and he is smelling them over around the corner in elevator.
Give him the ace.
Of course.
Hey, he's earned it at this point. I know it's only round 2, but it's still a feel-good moment for IMAD.
Oh, he's going to get it? There it is!
An ace in round 2 for IMAD. 5 very simple kills towards the end there. Got a little bit shaky down to 21 HP, but 5 out of the 6 kills that IMAD has come through the second round. So lovely showing here with the Galil. Nice patience around the box too to isolate those 1v1s, and very simple round for Bevo's fan club. Flawless.
Okay, Seymour, rock with me here. Sometimes you don't need to be within the TeamSpeak, within the Discord, whatever it is, to just know exactly what the comms are there. Guys, let me get the ace. Let me go. Stand back.
Yeah.
Let me find him first. And that's exactly what happens. Gets up the ace, and 7-0 right now for IMAD.
Not even that, like leading the team now on to be in round 3 for this bonus. It's going to be found into a 4v4. It was Zell burning to the Molotov of Akai, but this bomb's going to go down, and Northeastern playing for the retake with these M4s, and they only have 1 smoke.
Now to lock in at the back of quad, a 4v4 to get out. IMAD, they get caught with a flash in hand and just losing the timing onto it. And Neva just put out as well. So now just looking and moving as a group. Here comes NU Red, hopping on the bomb. Tony Shang and Cheese has got the kill, but now they have the round. The CTs strike for their first.
Yeah, Cheese there, only able to get the 1 kill found from Bevo's fan club for that post-plant scenario. Unfortunate circumstances for a lot of those duels, but it just seemed like those players couldn't hit their shots. And when it came down to these contact plays, it is more so a domino effect. It starts with IMAD and Neva, and Spicy wasn't able to swing out. And there's some lovely plays from Northeastern to trust their gut, play their ones, and kind of win back onto that site for the retake, only with 1 smoke. So really only 1 way to play it. So big round there for Northeastern, especially considering they gave up that bomb plant so quickly.
Absolutely. And we're able to just move as a team for the retake, but unfortunately, the fire is going to be real hot. But
28 damage.
Northeastern, they're going to have their paws all over this ramp side and just post it up here in the middle. Can just try and get back. The A4 is up, and the fans are through. Northeastern holding hard on the defense.
Evan's going to open things up through ramp. That's going to draw some attention back to A from Northeastern, but it doesn't seem like that's the end game for Bevo's Flame Club, and they're really trying to spread these CTs out, and IMAD's going to find the second one there. Fortunately enough for Northeastern, there was a refrag, so it's still a manageable 3v4. Now Tony Shane going to get aggressive through smoke.
Aggressive he gets, and the spam's right through. IMAD goes down. And just how the round teeters right towards this Bravo bomb site, and Zell will try to send us off in this, just try to get this AK kill, looking ever so patiently for it, and Akari is not looking when the timing comes up, but I think heard that step and just hops back.
Guy at the ready. Smoke, a kit, M4A1S. Should be good for this angle with the flash. Has to back onto Jenny's, and only good for the one. Almost getting two. Some damage there onto Neva, but nothing too crazy.
Smoke down, and now Tony. He's going to have to go big. Tony S is going to have to shoot like Tony Soprano right now around Jen if he is to get his team right back into this round. Spicy. Oh, this timing, Seymour. He could just go right through, and this first kill will set him up to do exactly that. Tony S found, and now a 1v1.
Ooh, playing his cards right. Possibly a win for Spicy in the 1v2, but Icarus not going to falter at all. Picks up where his teammate left off, holding hands back on the site. Northeastern going to even us up 2 apiece.
Evening us up they are, and this is exactly where you need to see the CT side starting to build off of what they can get. Right, Northeastern, every time you see they get these kills, it's never really with these multis. You're going to see them really pull ahead here and just get this round right back, right? But as soon as you can see them make it a little bit more cost effective for themselves, keep up at least 3 or 4 players, you're going to see, hopefully, Northeastern on the CT side can build a great foundation.
The Northeastern have clawed their way back into a somewhat advantage going into round 5. Eagle, P250, Glock, and Tech 9 for Bevo's Fan Club. Some good damage there onto 2, and she's at range. Absolutely ridiculous shots with just the Glock. And that's now going to put some pressure here onto Icarus. Now, Bevo's Fan Club, if they want to, they could just explode up this ramp and look to isolate some more players. But Tony Shang, this angle with the op, misses its shot. Luckily, has Icarus there watching him.
And now they keep going. Gets those 2 kills back and just cracking them right with these pistols. But if you would have told me that it was the Glock towards the beginning of this round to get that kill from the bottom of ramp, I would have looked at you real weird, but it's a weird world we live in, Seymour. There is to be a slow crawl in middle, and these deagles can always do the dirty work, but you got to get up and above. Tony Shang right now around this corner, a WP in hand, ready to let it go with 30 seconds left, whiffing on that first player, and now a wrap to B.
2 shots in the round, 2 whiffs from Tony Shang. Not looking as sharp as you'd want. With this off early onto Vertigo, blocking off that A side is going to put things onto the shoulders of the rest of Northeastern sitting on A, and they have done exactly what they need to do. Finishing off this eco round for Bevo's Fan Club and taking the lead with 3 rounds in a row.
So dominant off the back, and 3 in a row is going to do a whole hell of a lot more for the economy than just getting that split up. Cheese doing also well, all too well for him to just make it anything more. Taken out in the middle, and now you're going to see your real first gun round here to get right back up. They're going to have all the nades they need, and IMAD is just right around the corner. Now these nades, but through for Northeastern, both sides, a bit of dodgeball.
Nefa and IMAD brought down to 53 and 55 HP off that HE nade, and Akai couldn't look to get aggressive. Caught in a little bit of a crossfire between Zell And Cheese, that's going to open up this round a little bit for Bevo's fan club. Now into a 5 versus 3. The CTs really have to spread themselves thin, but looking to pull things back, unfortunately, for Northeastern. 4 versus 2.
Neva up and over, and Tony now has to whip right back. Has the op in hand, and he's taking a lot of space. Cheese up close and personal. It's going to be an awkward angle, but now right above, just
up
punishing you down. Just insane. And now Spicy just catches the back. They finally respond, Bevo's fan club. They pull for their third and right back to a tie game.
Yeah, executioner style at the end there. 3-3 we go, and with how close some of these rounds have been, I know, Northeastern, those 3 rounds in a row that they did got was fairly simple, not too much damage taken, but heading into this next round, still not looking as healthy as they'd want when it comes down to the economics of this game, so you're not going to see a good buy out of them. 2 M4s, Icarus gonna have one, Akai down to an MP9, Tony Shang an MP9, and then a USP, or not even, just P200 for 2. No utility on him either. Low armor, but still gonna find a kill. Walks on through with Glock, and no way he gets 2 out of that.
Just so much damage on that pop flash, and they will catch them sleeping at the wheel, trying to get back, and timing found, but this time for Bevo's fan club. Now, even towards A, punches right back and forth, and Northeastern pull back their man advantage.
Shang, just
Shang.
like round 1,
Lord.
just waiting behind sandbags. Everything going wrong for Bevo's fan club when these guns are in your hands. What can Cheese do? Has snuck through, but guy still lands a leg there. 16 of health. No idea where the reposition has come through from Tony Shang. He's going to pick that bomb up at 30 seconds and run all the way back to B.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good chance for him. If he went for that plant right there at the bomb site, unless perfectly placed, perfectly safe, he would have been a dead man. And now Cheese gets this bomb down in a 1v1. We'll just have to try and play for the headshot, likely.
Cheese is going to get aggressive. Going to meet himself in CT spawn. The shadow gives it away. And the easy spray down for Tony Shang. 4-3 for Northeastern. All the way down to a 1v1. He's going to be able to carry an AK into the next round.
It's close again. But just like that, Northeastern, at least they can keep their lead. It all started like this. They got so desperate, and the 5-7s went crazy.
Still, I mean, in Northeastern, even losing out onto some of these early engagements is holding it down and grinding it out to the very end there. You see, in that round in particular, as we head into a timeout, Bevo's fan club, they lose 2 o'clock and a pop flash. And most times you're going to count a team kind of out of that round, but they adapt. They change their strategy, and they pull things back all the way down to a 1-on-1. That is a very respectable round from Bevo's fan club, and it's enough to put together somewhat of a buy here. So they're going to have 2 MAC-10s, a good amount of utility, and 3 AKs. A very winnable round, and you're looking at Akai's going to bring an XM to B.
Yeah, I guess changing up their strategy, literally getting that auto shotty out, maybe a little too early, but I guess if they're going to be getting right in your face with the MAC-10s, you can do just that. Neva, the sub for this team, is doing great things at 5-5 right now, but he can't find the gun.
Where did it go? Where did it go?
Might have slipped under the wood right there.
No way.
Poor guy. Right now, oh, the shotgun at this range, though, now can punish right here. Rounding the corner, a smoke a little bit of cover, and now just causing more damage.
Enough damage done for reinforcements to come through for Northeastern, and I don't think Bevo's fan club truly expected that one. The auto shotty from out of nowhere, Spicy 1v3 down to a 1v2. But has to walk into the belly of the beast. Good for one. Swings to the side. Icarus is right there. Had the right idea, just not able to land the shot.
And another timeout called. Gonna have to readjust again. You lose the quick ones, but maybe you need a moment to breathe. You need something. But right here, Akai on these shotguns. It's just so much damage. I'm not sure he actually does convert the second one, though. I'm just probably one M4 bullet, you know, flying through the air right there, taking all the credit, getting that kill, but the damage was done. And Akai, let's see him bring out that shotgun again. I would love to get more of that action, but when it's appropriate, I guess.
Keep it in the buy menu. I don't even know for Bevo's fan club. It's not even like that was the wrong call. It's just you don't expect the auto shotty to be on that angle. And that throws you through a full loop. We'd like to see them maybe use a little bit more to force him off that angle, but it was already, you know, a force buy for them in that last round. Maybe not the utility to clear out that corner. Aggressive play from Northeastern, and two are going to fall from Bevo's fan club. Lovely plays here. Dancing around the smoke. Won't be able to lock down that third, and IMAD possibly a chance to pick up this M4. In fact, he will be able to pick up this M4, but no armor.
Just get back, and Neville will also have that deagle, so an attempt here into middle. If they would have to deal with three players, you know, maybe in this situation, you try and just sneak into B, get a kill, get a bomb plant. But right here, they take them all at the front door. But Akai is going to be the only man here. I'm not sure they're going to expect this, though. IMAD does not let himself get set up to the double. Now we'll just be in a 1v4. And if he can get down the ladder safely, he can get in with a better attempt in this round.
It's a hard ladder to climb down.
It is. No, respectfully, it is. I can't tell you how many times I'm just like, screw this, plopping down, wasting 20 HP. Yeah.
Wasted 20 HP and all the element of surprise that you hope to have. But IMAD's playing this right. Made a little bit of noise to the top of ladder. Forces Tony Shang to still hold mid. Forces a player onto ramp at A. And it's going to isolate the Icarus here on B for potential one-on-one. 30 HP. If he gets the right timing, he finds this kill. Maybe a bomb plant, but won't clear his corners. And Icarus, a very easy round to win.
Very, very easy at that. 6 is going to be captured for Northeastern. You look at these pushes that just get in and just taking care of business right where they need to. But a nice attempt from IMAD and Co back. They get these spams in, and at least you can try and get something up. But really, it was all just hemmed in. The heels were all just dragged back. And really, Northeastern, they are going to make sure you don't get that plan across. They don't care how much time it takes.
Smokes are down. Guns at the ready. Lots of utility to drag out this round. 2 might be looking to break in with this MP9. Smoke's going to open up, but nothing seen. Re-ups the smoke and might be dancing on the idea to get out, but no, he's going to go right in. Hello.
That's a good kill that they find. Previously on that same play, right, you've given up a couple of kills, so I mean, it's good to stay hemmed in for that, clearly learning their lesson, but there is a bit of your hand shown for Northeastern at the beginning of this one, so you're going to have to get a little bit more creative because I think Bevo is. They do like to try and get in here through middle, so we'll see what they're cooking up. Cheese is on the other side and is looking to just hold the line for now.
It's not the first time we've seen Bevo's fan club in a 5v4 and the outcome's around loss, so this is a moment that you need to put away for UT Austin. Jeez, almost a chance to take one down. That should have been a kill, but that's an AK recovered for Northeastern, and that's going to funnel the rest of Bevo's fan club over towards A. Tony Shang at range with the M4.
See if you can put shots down range. I'm not sure this is going to be a high enough angle to really peer right over, but you fan away that smoke for a moment, getting that kill, and now with 15 seconds left, trying to get through on the spams. Bevo's fan club will secure the plant, but now they're all shoved out to the side hall. This is not looking good. They're up and above Seymour, mollied out. Wave the white flag, my friends. You might need to get out of Dodge because Northeastern, they're right on this thing, and they're up above, getting that defuse through, and IMAD actually getting all those kills, but not towards the end. Akai at least finishing to tell the tale.
The kills are good, but a round win is what you need if you're Bevo's fan club. You open up with a first blood onto 2 again, and it's drawn all the way out to the very last 30 seconds for an execute onto A. You get a ramp, you get that bomb down, but giving up that mid-control cheese, losing so many crucial individual plays through the middle adaptations of these rounds that are giving Northeastern so much pressure to work with. So 7-3, you know, the best outcome you can find is a 7-5 half, but for Bevo's fan club, they just have to start finishing what they start, and it's these constant success that they found at the start of the rounds that they need to turn into round wins.
I think it's interesting how much attention they bring to middle right here. Tony Shang is back, and on this boost, they just do hem it in. They have like a single player over on the defense, over on this A site, but similarly on B, they are so thin that just one wall is broken, and now they have a lot of space. But Tony Shang, this is why they have the element of surprise. It's so they can pop out like this, 3 kills in succession, and now Northeastern, they're right back in the round.
In the blink of an eye, it's a 3v2 the other way. And Bevo's fan club are staring right down the barrel of an op. Not literally, but figuratively. This is a round that, again, should have been your win.
Oh?
Everybody's here. Tony Shang is just not missing. Neva has been spotted, and there is so much work to be done. Snaps around, makes it a one-on-one, but Icarus just around the corner cleans things up, and Northeastern University give themselves an 8th.
I think the player atop that position right there was switching to the knife so he could go like Assassin's Creed style onto Neva. That would have really brought in a low blow, but it just has to come through. Neva gets a little bit closer for a 1v1, but Northeastern, they roll on. It's going to be a little expensive, though. Every time, I swear, they get up for this 8-3 mark. I mean, this is all they're going to be able to get the rest of this half, so be it, but it's going to be a little bit expensive along the way, but we'll see if 9-3 is going to be this first half for them. Or does Bevo like to pull ahead for the situation? Can they prepare? There are so many players towards the bottom of this ramp, and bullets flying. Neva, now they swing 2 back-to-back for the man.
Seems like whoever finds the first frag of a round just doesn't seem to want to come out on top.
What?
Spicy gets caught through the smoke. And this is down to a 2 versus 2. You have a flank through mid, and it seems like Akai has somewhat of an idea that this is possible. Zell has to be careful. Akai's going hunting, and Zell is just on the edge of some pretty poor timing. Not going to expect Akai deep into the corner. And it's all down onto the shoulders of IMAD.
He's going to be getting in with 55 seconds. But what spams have came through for Northeastern that have just brought problems into the hands of Bevo's fan club? But can they really just cheer on IMAD in this situation? Has all the time he can need, but both these players are really tucked in, and they are waiting for the nice beep of the bomb plant to get at least a little bit of information. And IMAD gets closer. This man is on a mission for a kill right here, but he'll settle for the bomb if that's all he can find in due time.
Gonna make some noise. 17 seconds. Both players of Northeastern right here trying to bait out some information with that bomb, but down to 9 seconds, and it's now for Northeastern. I mean, this is a round 1 unless IMAD can find 2 kills in the span of 9 seconds. Akai says no. 9-3 on Vertigo at the end of our first half. Northeastern looking very, very good. But, I mean, looking back at this half, it is just a series of unfortunate events time and time again for UT Austin. So many rounds where they have a distinct advantage, Marky, but through the midst of these rounds, through a lot of these middle portion adaptations, I don't want to say that, you know, Bevo's fan club, they're getting lazy in these rounds. It just doesn't seem like they're giving Northeastern the respect deserved from the rounds that they're clutching up.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's what's going to make just what a good team can look up against a great or even better squad in these situations, especially when on Vertigo, you really have peered into this and have unfortunately fallen right out of dodge. Right now, Cheese around the corner, clotheslined, and now they will continue into the bomb site.
Bomb goes down, and they're going to have to retake at a man disadvantage for CT side, and it's all going to start with Zell here. Icarus on a tight angle. USP's shots a little off, side to side, across the head, and down to a 5v3. Lots of damage there from 2. Imat, though, puts it to rest with the help of Neva. Kai around the smoke, the defuse. We're going to be tapped on, and Northeastern, they surround, they suffocate, and they take double digits.
My word, what a way to wrap up that pistol round. The dominance that we see in the score lines for Northeastern, man, is that the tale to tell right here in the afternoon of games that we have gotten. Seymour right now ripping out red hot on Vertigo. Let's see if they can bring it all the way to the finish line right here, going up against what is a couple nades. I think the server just settling in, you know, the house creaking around, Seymour, but hopefully we're going to be able to get back into this thing and really just get all of the Counter-Strike we need.
Vivo's fan club just looking for a lifeline back into this game, but nothing is going their way right now. Spicy in the USP. A little bit of an angle, but won't be able to tap away on that very difficult gunfight. And Northeastern are walking into the site and seizing control of everything.
Now they'll need to seize a little bit in the CT spawn right here, popping the snade out. Nobody going to be homing in that smoke, but we appreciate the thought at it. Now bullets are going to be crack-a-lacking right to the back of this site, and even the needle, it's looking to be threaded right here. We'll see if it's embedded right into the face, too. He will just tap him out. No patience.
There's that Assassin's Creed play that you're looking for,
Yeah,
jumping all the way off top side and right in towards that CT heaven, and get a look back at it here.
Oh my goodness.
Spots out Imat and dead to rights in that moment. 11-3 for Northeastern. A commanding lead is riding into the rifles of Bevo's fan club. Northeastern have all AKs and lots of utilities, so quite even. No bonus. Northeastern want to put it away, and they want to put it away fast.
Even Steven Seagal, Imad will look and try and get 2 to fall. He does get that kill. Icarus trying to get on this spam back, but just dealing a little bit of damage through it. And now Northeastern, they are going to have to play a man down, and Cheese up and around this corner. If Icarus clears this, she should have it, and then the headshot comes in, just securing that frag.
Icarus has not been fooled. I think if there's one thing to say about this game and, you know, Northeastern's lead, it hasn't been, you know, as flashy as that Northwood win that we just saw. It's not like they're walking in and just deleting Bevo's fan club. They're slowly burning out these rounds, coming back from so many differentials, and always keeping their head on a swivel for any possible outcome that Bevo's fan club are throwing their way. Northeastern, very practiced here on Vertigo.
Very practiced indeed to the nade up top, and now Cheese's crew will try to get in to get this situation just settled as the bomb, it's going to be planted on their bomb site, and now things are going to start to get tricky. I don't think I see a kid over there, Seymour, so they're going to need to hurry up.
No kits. Still 4 members. Smoke is down, and very aggressive angle here for Northeastern. Icarus going to be watching over from ramp, removed by Imad. Rushing through is Zell and Nefa, and they might bring this one back, but Akai 1v1. Imad, there's no time. And Northeastern do it again. 12 rounds acquired, map point on Vertigo, and something we have yet to talk about, Marky, that this is the map choice of Bevo's fan club. They wanted to go to Vertigo. You can see it in the top right. Inferno is the pick of Northeastern, and they might be working into that sooner than they expected.
Absolutely, and I don't mean to be that guy, but I thought I saw some extra funds in the bank accounts there. I think Vivo's fan club could have definitely afforded a kit somewhere, but really the round costed at that, and unfortunately they're going to have to try and fight forward with 9 in a row if they want to keep their Vertigo hopes alive.
A PSA to all the kids at home. Buy a kit.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, never. Oh, 2 just cannot lose a fight. 3 HP in a dream now into the spawn of CT. Spicy should be able to sweep that under the rug. A mistake now patched, and Smoke's going to go down to hopefully disrupt this attack onto B.
Hopefully. Now Tony Shang to get in with this entry. Spice has now been traded, and now they will get this bomb plant. It comes from Akai. Northeastern looking to deliver this final uppercut, getting in with this nade and checking the back door. There's Cheese trying to rip their way in, trying to get right back, and there is a smoke right in their face, trying to play a little bit of dodgeball, but there it comes through. Northeastern 13-3, absolutely ripping apart Vivo's fan club down there in Austin, Texas. My word, what a performance on their opponent's map pick. We're going to be going forward, I believe, onto Inferno, which that's where they decided to go. And my goodness, Seymour, I don't know what we're going to expect from that if that's on their opponent's map pick.
It's just a really strong map from Northeastern. Not their map of choice. You know, Vertigo, not a lot of teams might be prepared for it as much as others. And you'd think with Vivo's wanting to bring Vertigo into map 1 of the series, not the decider, not map 2, to open up the series, to go to Vertigo like that, you have to be feeling like they had a strategy, they had a game plan, and a lot of those rounds were looking good for Vivos. I'll give it to them. They didn't play horrible. It doesn't reflect in the score that we did see, Marky, but the clutch factor for Northeastern, how calm they were in a lot of these rounds, and the way that they were able to adapt to whatever Vivos threw at them, it just goes to show how strong this team is for a team that finds themselves in losers round 1 of this tournament.
Yeah, and you know, we were just talking about how RIT are going to be joining them in the losers bracket and seeing how really a team that maybe doesn't want to be there would respond. Clearly, this is the attitude we're getting out of Northeastern, where they're just trying to make a run and really start it off the way as momentous as they can with that map victory. You go onto Inferno. That's going to be a little bit of home turf, right? This aforementioned just soaring through the air like Assassin's Creed, just dunking straight on them. And then they brought it straight up to the finish line. They took them out of their own bomb site all the way through. Northeastern pick up that victory right over Bevo's fan club.
Yeah, and you know, looking back at Northeastern and how they found their way into the lower bracket, they lost to the GMU Patriots, so a 2-0 loss finds them in the lower bracket, and this resurgence that we've seen on Vertigo just maybe shows a little bit of an upset Northeastern team, frustrated from that loss yesterday and bouncing back with a 13-3. It doesn't get very much better than that. So the UT of Austin, University of Texas in Austin, might be looking to do quite the same, shake it off, heading into map number 2. Inferno's coming up next. And, you know, one thing you can find solace in is that you didn't play bad on Vertigo. A lot of these rounds just fell between your fingertips. And the more that happens, Counter-Strike is a very mental game, Marky. The more you lose 1v2s, the more you lose close rounds, the harder it gets to play the long game. And you look across IMAD and Neva, so many moments created from these two to make the rounds possibly winnable, and countless times. I don't even think I could count it on one hand alone. Countless rounds that Pivos fan club should have won.
Right. I mean, IMAD was the man that was unfortunately left alive with no kit in that round that just brought them to 12, right? Neva. And we can bring this guy the respect he deserves. He's slotting right in here for MTNP and really just showing up with 14 frags here with the rest of the squad as good as everybody else is playing. So very much respectful to him, as really the whole squad has got to have this attitude change in the map number 2. But you're absolutely right. They really just got to try in small, really just solve the small things. Is really Inferno it just can be so cut and dry in some situations, but it's those little engagements that we saw take over Overpass just translate.
Was one game that we have yet to see. We've never seen a game go to game number 3. You're looking at the University of Texas at Austin heading into Inferno to bounce back pretty heavily after that loss on their map choice of Vertigo. Inferno coming up next after this quick break. You're watching the Rally Cry Collegiate Series. We will see you shortly with more Counter-Strike 2.
We get how uncertain the future is. We've come of age in a complex world, face to face with problems we didn't create. So what's going to happen next? We are. Because our future is the future. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more because we have an appointment with destiny.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Rally Cry Collegiate Series presented by the Army National Guard. My name is Seymour. With me is Marky. We've been taking you through the action all day long so far through our first series and now our second series. Bevo's Fan Club versus the side of Northeastern University. And Bevo's fan club find themselves down 0-1 heading into Inferno. They lose their map pick of Vertigo 13-3. I'm sure it's something that they did not expect, Marquis.
Yeah, definitely not a part of the plan. And you know what? I mean, that 13-3, it sounds really bad. A lot of these rounds were a lot closer than they really would seem to be. But currently, now you have this response straight up from Northeastern right onto their map pick. With that type of performance on map 1, we'll see how they respond in this pistol. In our other best of 3 of the day, it was Northwood that just responded right into their own map 2. So we'll see if that pressure is still on today.
Have to take a peek at it, but Spicy is going to be the first line of contact for Bevo's fan club. Immediately shut down after fighting one, and you look at that kill feed light up for the side of Bevo's fan club, and they completely lose out on their CT. Hold now down to just IMAD and rushing on down from Church. Caught on the rotation, a little bit of damage from Northeastern, and they're already sticking the puck in the ground.
Staying on the ice and fighting right through. Now IMAD, can he get around and get this clutch forward? Bevo's fan club need a bit of juice in the tank, need a bit of release right with the momentum. And now IMAD trying to fight at the back door. There is these shots coming through, and there is that pistol round responded to, and Northeastern not losing a pep in their step.
No, not at all. It starts with that fight against Spicy in apps. You lose your first member, 2 goes down, but as we saw back on Vertigo, it doesn't matter if 2 falls, the rest of the team has his back, and they respond in kind with 3. That's going to put Northeastern into a very strong spot, getting that bomb down, getting the round 1 on their T side of Inferno. Now they can expand on this, and look at the nade stack through mid, brings Icarus down to 33. Softens him up for potential kill here with the USPs too. Looking to rush out from Apps with the rest of his team. Neva backed up Spicy, cowering in a corner, and he's lost all of his friends.
Oh, just right over the top of the barrel. That plant will come in from Super Zao, and right now they just get this through as Akai is putting in, peppering these shots forward. Bevo's fan club, unfortunately, they get the damage early. We'll see if they can finish it onto Icarus, onto Akai. Unfortunately, now just IMAD. Last man standing once again.
A couple kills would be good here for IMAD, but doesn't seem like Northeastern really giving anything up for free. All the full HP players are the first to swing out, and IMAD won't find anything more than just the 1 kill that Bevo's fan club got against 2. So 2 quick rounds from Northeastern after a win on Vertigo, and they start their map pick of Inferno off where they left off.
So convincing as well. It's gotta be a little bit harsh, you know, when it's going up against those pistols. You got to really shut them down so quickly. But now, just getting those mollies up top of Banana, here you're going to have the natural progression going. The nades right down, this Banana position being fought for early.
You look at the buy, too, for the CT side of Bevo's fan club since being down against the early success of this T side. You have to kind of settle with what you got. Low utility, a couple MP9s, and only 2 kits in the servers. So Northeastern, if they can get their way onto a site and get this bomb planted, that's going to prove to be an issue for Bevo's fan club.
Rounding the corner, Cheese with the headshot, and now this smoke in. Can he round the corner? Can he do it? The headshot coming through, and that is a turn and burn for Super Zao, as now he just takes the rest of this space towards the back of the halls, and 2 has even got their own thing going on here. A bit of Spitfire right around the corner for Spicy, and things just get a little bit dicey right here with the kill back.
Spicy, the only one here with a kit. It seemed like the other kit that was in the hand of Zell falls just outside of Church, so the crossfire of Northeastern are actually going to surprisingly have that covered. The bomb continuing to carry away. Smoke is going to allow for a safe passage, but that Molotov's going to chop things up a bit, and now the time has gone a little bit too far out of the works for Bevo's fan club. They're going to have to concede it and carry their rifles into the next.
Got to make sure they can get up all the guns they would like as well. A man dies as the bomb just goes off, and unfortunately, you'll see him in the next. Or fortunately, you'll see him in the next. Excuse me. Love to have them all here. Right around the corner. This turn and burn was just ridiculous. In Boiler, it was just so easy. And Northeastern still ripping on the same cast iron they did all through Vertigo.
Is red hot and ready to serve. Looks like Zell wants to make a little bit of a play here. Nefa looking to work alongside him, but Zell gets cleaned up, and so do his comrades. Northeastern finding no problem dealing with this aggression, finding no issues in dealing with this Bevos fan club team.
This bomb going to be planted, and now they want to try and just fan a little bit back, at least from Cheese right here. MP9, interesting positioning, but this smoke up, and this is going to be a little bit awkward. I know he wants to try and find this timing as soon as this fades, and these players are going to be in brackets, so not a horrible attempt at it, but now Super Savage is going to be looking and clearing this position, and a huge headshot found in transition Northeastern. They are going to be going and getting their fourth just like that.
This is a little bit of a scary moment for Bevo's fan club, because not only is this, you know, potential for a 2-0 loss, but you lose here, you're out of the tournament.
Yeah.
That you don't pass go, you don't collect $200, that's it. You're done. And Northeastern, they know what job needs to be done. They know exactly what, you know, they're capable of, and they're really showing why they're here in this tournament, why they are kind of fighting for that contention against some of the best college teams that we have in Counter-Strike 2, is because they feel like they can take them down. And right now, with the showing that they're putting on with Vertigo and now Inferno, this is a dangerous team. And if they can continue to work off the success and continue to improve, this is a potential dark horse in the tournament.
Certainly, and I mean, Seymour is straight to jail with them, and they're going to have to give all of their property over toward this Northeastern side if they don't change things up here soon. Round number 5 is where we lay, and it's only a 4-0 mark that we see. But in the grand scheme, this is a lot, and they have just got to try and get this train to come to a screaming halt.
Yeah, I mean, Northeastern is saying rent is due, and there's no property that Bevo's fan club has right now to feel like they can find some sustain on the map. Mr. Monopoly is here to collect. As we might be getting a little bit of trouble for how much we talked about Monopoly there.
Make sure to go get it. Rally cry. X Monopoly. Definitely not, unfortunately. That would be funny, though. I know that they do have CS Monopoly. I do believe that exists in the ESL store. I think I saw it at Dallas. Might have to pick that up next time, but currently here, right here at this gracious property, right here on this street, right up lane, they're going to be knocking on Neva's front door. And you know what Jay Beeb said? Neva saying Neva, let's see if he can stand up to those lines here and get this hold underway. But we wait so long. They've just waited on the cards here with 50 seconds left. Now shots rating through, and I guess you will say Neva because he is out with no frags in this one. And now Icarus just putting them in the belt. And Northeastern's forces are definitely felt.
Just look at the way they all line up for Icarus too. Just walking into his crosshair, side to side, peeking out. You know, I've been trying to avoid attempting to say this name, but like I have to give flowers where they are due. 10-0 for this member of Northeastern. I hope he watches this one back, because if I get you back on stream, please help me out here.
My man. Absolutely. 10-0 and continuing with these calls, and maybe it just adds to the mystery of the malls that happens right here and right at the base of brackets. The smoke out early and just the attention brought towards the bottom. It's Tony Shang going 2 for 2, and this time the mob boss is doing it all himself, getting the collections and just getting right into B.
Yeah, Olympus has fallen and nobody's here. The plant is going to come through easily, and you still see Northeastern clearing every single angle, making sure that nobody from Bevo's fan club are tucked away in a ratty corner. Eagle out for Zell.
Okay.
All right, I'll take that.
Good spam and at least a good start. Now Tony Shang after the dogs, and he's letting it loose. Going for the ace, Seymour. You're absolutely right, and he deserves it. When he holds on the acceleration like that, it could be the 5-7 that burns it, and sometimes you shine so bright that you explode in a supernova. Unfortunately, it will just come with the signature from Northeastern. The 6 is what they find, and it's really never that hard to get in the first place.
It's funny that Tony Shang's the one to die there because its accuracy flew too close to the sun.
Real.
It's 6-0 for Northeastern. And they are burning on Inferno. Up out for Zell. M4's at the ready. Once again, a full buy for Bevo's fan club, but you're looking to Zell to be the difference maker with this AWP. Tony Shang has one of his own, but he's bringing up Banana.
Yeah, this is crazy. He's got his own engagements in mind and is just taking it as a one-man army. But there is that entry in the brackets, and the slow crawl will just be so fast as now Spicy will try and get out in a dash from apartments. But now just really, I don't know what you do here. Vivo's fan club might have to graciously give up 7 because even when Northeastern are giving them the respect, right, they still play their cards. They don't even just rush right into brackets. They throw the utility needed, but they just go almost 100% on the test, passing every course that they can along the way to get into brackets. They deal with the kills, man. It's just so well enthralled right now for Northeastern, and they are already on the hunt. Right up here through Banana as well. Is that Tony? He's getting it going. He swapped out. Okay, Bogdan's Law. It's still active. Don't worry. They made sure it's still true in CS2. He gets it over to Icarus. So maybe he can just stand up because now Tony, he is getting this going. And right here, one player, top of Banana. I'm mad. He actually should get out of this. They're right up into it. And actually, Super Zao is gone.
Oh, man. I mean, this is hard to really picture that Northeastern is a team that lost in the winners bracket 2-0. I think that really goes to show what George Mason have going in their winners bracket run to defeat a team that looks this polished.
Yeah. And now Vivo maybe just on the verge from really, we're going to use the D word. They might get demolished right here, right through brackets, right here. They at least going to get right up into the faces. Icarus on the spam, and Neva gets away right here. It seems Vivo's fan club is going to make them pay, but right here, you get up right back. Never, ever falter. Right here is Northeastern looking to just get back in through lane.
She's going to be the first line of defense. Good for 1. Defo on the cross, and together they put together 3. Finally, Bevo's fan club, they break the curse. A round on the board after so many losses across Vertigo and Inferno. I'm not sure exactly what the number is, but it had to be well over double digits of rounds in a row for Northeastern before losing this one here.
I think the majority of those rounds came up at the beginning of Vertigo, and they shut things out there, and Cheese can't quite get on the fast flick, but now something is coming, cooking here right into apartments. The control going to be gone, and now Spicy, he's just going to try get right in front of this thing. Tony is going to go wrap all the way around, and if he's not careful, actually, Tony just working on bomb duty right here, too. He's going to just get this spam and getting that headshot through. Spicy has been removed quickly at the start.
She's going to reposition with his AWP down into pit. Kai starting to work through Paps, and the pressure from Northeastern is here, so Cheese will have his work cut out for him, and a lovely AG placement to bring 2 down to 16 HP as soon as he swings this. Cheese, it finds the whiff, up, has the read onto a Kai, but again, double whiff from Cheese, the up just not hitting its mark for Bevo's fan club.
Now is going to have to hit the mark in the retake if they want to get it. IMAD is going to have a kit as well as Zell. But we'll see when they exactly meet up together, because now they may just dig their heels in on the side of Northeastern. They want to try and get back into the game, fan away Bevo's hopes for the moment, right? They didn't want to be too mean. They want to at least let them get up one, because right now, Icarus and Tony Shang are just too clean, getting up with their 8th right now. And this could be a quick one here in the first half. We are already into round 10.
2 and Apps opens things up with another one. And just looking back at this round, the shots are on point. The bounce back there from Northeastern. Still trucking their way through Inferno. Able to put something together here as Bevo's fan club were somewhat of a close to full buy, but utility is going to be the issue here, and it seems like Tony Shang actually finds some value to Banana.
Yeah, I think all of Northeastern were about to send it through that A smoke before that kill came through, so just fanning back for the moment, but that is where they will just get spammed upon. Icarus and Tony S are back going to be dead, and right now there's a man advantage, so you can't say that very often for Bebos, but got to be right and very careful around with this boost, because you've not carefully shown exactly where you came from, and now getting on the spam. This is exactly what I was worried about. Unfortunately going to fall, and Cheese unfortunately could not stall.
"52 seconds, 3v3. Right call is being made by Northeastern. Nobody is home at B. And even if they want to, they can scavenge this AWP off the ground that Tony Shang had early on. Rotation is here for Zell. He started the round with the 2 kills that has been found from Bevos, but he's going to have to find 3 more.
3 more indeed, and Zell with some perfect timing to get into a spot here has to deliver, and unfortunately cannot. 2 just so perfect opening with that frag, and now they can put this bomb and get it right into the bag. Super Zhao getting that shot as well. Now it just leaves Spicy with too tall of a hill to climb. Just gonna get out and try to fight one other time. Right now they are really moving forward well to get double digits. They get their 9 right here, get so much closer.
And even talking on that game 1 matchup, Neva and IMAD had a great vertigo. Yeah, as best as they possibly can. They just cannot get it together this game. 1-7, 2-8. And, you know, I'm pointing them out, but it's not like the rest of the squad has an even brighter stat line. Everybody's struggling here for Bevo's fan club, and it reflects in the score. It's quite opposite from what we told on Vertigo, where, you know, Vertigo is a very winnable map for Bevo's fan club. You just can't say the same about this Inferno. And I think this is why teams are starting to fall away from a map like Inferno and starting to pick out on others, is because, albeit, you know, Inferno might be a classic when it comes down to Counter-Strike, it's still a very difficult map to execute on.
Nades right through, and they're getting up into the faces. 2 has just wanted to get right into places. And what are shots like this on red HP? This is just absolutely ridiculous. Crossing the line, even getting into CT. And Cheese with the double. IMAD will cause the trouble as well. What is going on? The stand perfectly from Bevo. And as Tony has gotten back to get this bomb, his team is out of the round. And now a new effort for him, as Zell is going to be peeked into the corner. And we'll see if he expects this one. Getting that kill through and get the smoke down. Chance for a real effort at this clutch.
Still with head armor. It's still with half HP. And looking at the retake for Bevo's fan club, is heading into an AWP with only a Molotov and a flash, and that Molotov has already been expended. Very disconnected are these 2 Bevo's players. This is truly a winnable round.
But let's see if he can do the dance and really do-si-do right between 2 of his foe. Right hopping on the bomb is Cheese, and now this flick will just make you squeeze right here on the trigger. There it is, Tony S looking good.
I don't know what to say for Beavos other than that is just not the call to make in a clutch 1v2 in a must-win round. Plenty of time for the defuse. No need for one member to stick it out. Would have loved to see Cheese and IMAD swing that at the exact same time. We see a timeout called in the last round of the half. Potential for a 10-2 ending. Northeastern looking for 11-1. But a round like that for Bevo's fan club in a 2v1 with the advantage in life, you need to swing that together. I don't like the call to stick that bomb.
Oh, man. Get that kill down and then do that dirty work that you need to get up round number 12, and this freeze time just gets that much shorter. It will be Northeastern to try and get up and get this to be an 11-1 half.
Last round of the half for either team to kind of show what it's made, and we got an SG out for a guy. Tony S back on that op after a clutch in round 11. Bevo's fan club reeling right now. Cheese has made his way through the apps, and he's going to pull the trigger before truly clearing the corner and doesn't notice a Kai sitting and waiting.
And now Icarus just gets right here into the top of Banana. But you look at this rotation.
Timing is ridiculous.
It is just not on the way of Bebo's fan club right now. As Super Zhao, he's going to look to keep them all here. Will definitely get them to steer in his direction if he is seen in the kill feed. And Zell almost getting 4-3'd right there, walking past him, but going to collect it. And right here, they will knock on the front door. Their hand being shown. IMAD, does he have the timing, Seymour?
They have to go from 0 to hero, 2 and 8, looking for 5. Smoke in the way of him and shutting things down, and very patiently waiting for the reinforcements to come through from Banana. But Icarus, he knows this. He's listening, and he's going to find the better of Spicy down to a 2v3. And IMAD has been found out. Zell, the only one to stand up to this underwhelming pressure that NU are putting on. 11-1. I said underwhelming, man. Overwhelming.
This is unbelievable. Avenging the responses that we saw right here with the mid-round efforts. Cheese just with 1 and a Kai. We were highlighting it awkwardly at the beginning of this one, or I think you were, just with that SG. Hey, man, at least it's getting the action that we love to see it get.
We've seen the AUG today. We've seen the SG, the Nova, the XM. We're playing CS Bingo right now. We've seen almost all the guns come out. You know, gonna have to see, you know, the Nagav come out before I really say we're playing, you know, CS Bingo. But, you know, to be determined. 11-1. You can see Northeastern not afraid to take these fights, running it right down mid with the USPs, and they get 2.
You know what? Go ahead and put these dualies in the free space, because right there, Northeastern has got exactly that. They move in exactly where they would like. They rip your land out of your hands, and it is theirs now. Northeastern Red, they are looking to make sure that Bebo's fan club is good and dead right here at the end of this series. This is a beatdown through 2 maps, 13-3, and now looking to be 13-1 if they can get it done in round number 14.
This could be it, and oh, Zell, that's gonna feel bad. Rushing right through the smokes, no respect shown. The Bison's out for 2, and Icarus closing the doors of this round, of this map, of this series. Northeastern 13-1 on Inferno. 4 rounds lost across the series. A truly dominant showing here in losers round 1 of our Rattly Cry CS2 tournaments, and they truly deserve a spot in losers round 2.
My goodness, yes they do. They work so hard for it, and that's where you see, right, this comeback wanting to come through, right, not only in game but through the whole tournament, right? You're going to see these loser bracket teams that want to be here, and when they are, they want to get up with as much momentum as they can. This is going to propel them forward possibly for the best losers bracket run that really anybody could set themselves up for. This is a great dominating performance where you see only 4 rounds back in their direction. My goodness, is that just telling enough? But really, with these map picks, getting it back on Vertigo, it was really entertaining the whole time. Really, you know, you're playing with a sub on the other side. Neva had his moments, and really, some of those rounds were pretty close. But then on Inferno, honestly, I didn't feel that way. A lot of these were either Bevo's fan club staying in it for the little bit that they could, or just getting wiped out and completely mopped out of the thing. Right here, Super Zhao, right, just gets it done. Everybody just getting in with their own little bit of fun. But really, Seymour, it was just all Northeastern all day.
Yeah, I'm sure this is not a showcase that is going to define UT Austin within the CS2 realm. I'm sure they're going to be back with a vengeance in the future, but for today, it is not the outcome I'm sure they were hoping for. 13-1 on Inferno is going to be a very demoralizing end to this tournament. But for the other side, for Northeastern, I mean, how impressive is this team? I mean, this is a team I can rally behind. Like you said, a team that, you know, has what it takes to make a deep run in this playoff bracket from losers round 1. And it's off the back of these clutch plays that they made, the patience that they're shown, and, you know, the, I guess, ability and the expectation to go above and beyond in some moments. I'm looking at 2 or Tony S to kind of pop off and look to make plays, force themselves into situations. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But against Bevo's fan club today, more often than not, you saw the outcome was in their favor.
Right, even this, really, it's funny that we get up right on that Tony Shang clutch that we had, because even in times where it was close, they really just put themselves in the situations where I'm pretty sure to even set up that clutch, it was Northeastern pulling themselves back into this round. And I really just love how everybody comes through and gets their moments in the series. That really just goes through and shows how exactly dominant there are. Super Zhao, obviously, with a huge series, obviously towards the start of Vertigo, right there with 19 and 5, just over 2,000 damage right there. But it really just goes to show across the table really how everybody is just so neck and neck. Really, you can have one player stand up for your squad, but if there's nobody lying out and everybody's sort of around the same damage and engagements, you can really be happy. But hey, man, be happy with the 13-1. This is ridiculous, but hey, man, the job isn't done here. Move forward with your head held high at least.
Definitely 10-0 at one point for Super Zhao, and for Bevo's fan club, a series that I'm sure you do not want to write home about. It's not the last we're going to see of the University of Austin, Texas at Austin within the realm of CS2, but it is the end of their run here in our Rally Cry Collegiate series. So I'm looking forward to the next time we get to cast over them to see if they're making those adaptations to make those changes as well, Marky. But after this game, I'm sure there was a lot that needs to be discussed within their camp. Northeastern University moved forward with a 2-0 win, 13-3 on Vertigo, 13-1 on Inferno. And now they head over towards the losers round 2 to play RIT Orange. It's going to be a tough match for them, but I'm very excited for it. We're taking a look at the winners bracket before we get into that. And we see Fisher College, the Falcons, taking down the Wolfpack in a 2-0 sweep. We got to see the Wolfpack yesterday, 2-0 Brock University. Fisher moves forward to play GMU Patriots to destroy Matthew McConaughey fan club as well in a 2-0 sweep. We've yet to see a game go to 3 maps, and we didn't see it versus Northwood and Rochester. Northwood moves forward, and that only leaves one outcome to be determined. Oklahoma Christian and the Ohio State University Buckeyes Gaming Collective. Gonna have to wait later on the week to figure out the outcome of that one, but I'm sure it'll be ready for next week's action, Marky.
No, definitely. And in my mind, you look at that bracket, you can peer down below and see what's cooking there. But towards the winner's bracket of that finals, you're going to be seeing what in my mind is probably going to be Fisher College going up against Northwood. And I know Fisher College has been one of the most innovative programs in really all of their games that they participate in, bringing a couple players over from Europe to just get into the squad, right? With a couple NA advanced players, why not getting up with this squad? All these dudes have all the experience they can, and now bringing in this new experience, their expectations cannot be higher. And I know they're very excited to get into the season. I do believe they're signed up for a couple local Philadelphia lands in the future as well. So definitely looking forward for this program. But then again, you know, Northwood, they are a team that is literally just in that same conversation. I mean, in these divisions, with these high scenarios and with these high expectations, that is where my mind goes. But that is where the lights will shine brightest. And we'll see if we can get there and really see those matchups, because you even today saw what could have been a grand final, you know? So really, some people's brackets might be busted after that.
Yeah, going to be busted for sure. I'm sure for the lower bracket too. After the showing that we just saw for the lower bracket, though, we can touch on that for a moment. Northeastern, they eliminate Bevo's fan club. We see Brock University eliminating Elon University, and Drexel eliminating PSU Blues. Still waiting on the outcome for the Ohio State University Buckeye Gaming Collective Gray and MSU Varsity CS. Not sure if that's going on right now. Maybe going the distance, or if it's going to happen later on down the line. Winner of that plays NCSU Wolfpack. We see Drexel versus MMFC, Matthew McConaughey Fan Club for next week. RIT Orange, Northeastern University, and Brock Esports waiting on the loser of our last winner's bracket match as well. Plenty of action for next week. But for this week, Marky, it's been a blast casting with you, man. Maybe some one-sided affairs today that you and I weren't expecting, but still fun time all around.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in these blowouts that you do see, right, even with this first game, I mean, how telling is it going to be when you're going to have a team like RIT that's going to have to go to the drawing board, right, later this afternoon, tomorrow, after they have a chance to really just breathe some fresh air and just talk about what happened? Because as a collegiate program, they have a whole hell of a lot more high expectations than this, like I talked about. I mean, this is a squad that is brought together through their experience at ESEA Advanced. So when you come through and have an expectation to go out against what probably, respectfully, is more of a mix of players for Northwood, obviously, just respectfully in the fact they're the collegiate team, they now have these reps. But when you go toe for toe, obviously they won their national championships, both sides have, but RIT, I don't know if it's time to panic or really just not, because sometimes you can get a little bit unlucky right there. I don't know if Northwood is going to be able to come out every day and frag like that, but if they are, like we said earlier, you might have to just give them the check and the trophy right now.
Yeah, I mean, they looked fantastic for sure. I'm sure that is not the RIT Orange that we are used to, that we expect to see, and I don't think it's the RIT that we're going to be seeing take the server next weekend. But for now, for this week, Marky, thank you for coming on. It has been
such a pleasure to cast with you, man.
Pleasure to cast with you again for Counter-Strike. Always a treat. But for folks at home watching, don't forget to follow Rally Cry and everything that's going on here for the Rally Cry Collegiate Series, because we have action not just in the realm of Counter-Strike 2, but with fighting games, with Rocket League, with Madden. So much action to watch over for this collegiate series. And next week, we're going to be taking the server once more in Counter-Strike 2 to see how far some teams can move into this bracket. We hope you all enjoyed today. We hope you all have a great night. We'll see you next week for some more Rally Cry Collegiate Series presented by the Army National Guard. Take care.
We get how uncertain the future is. We've come of age in a complex world, face to face with problems we didn't create. So what's going to happen next? We are. Because our future is the future. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more because we have an appointment with destiny.
I wait tables. But last week, I built a field hospital.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Our generation has a choice. turn away from the world's problems, or chase them down. We refuse to sit back and watch them pass us by. Watch us fly ahead. Rise to every challenge and overcome anything. Watch us become the next greatest generation. Our generation isn't turning away from the world's problems. Watch us fly ahead. Rise to every challenge and overcome anything. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
We get how uncertain the future is. We've come of age in a complex world, face to face with problems we didn't create. So what's gonna happen next? We are. Because our future is the future. The life we have chosen has prepared us for this. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're gonna save families from disasters and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more because we have an appointment with destiny. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
That was just on me. Try away.